I'm Candace.
And I'm Ripley.
And I'm John.
And this is Comicsplaining.
The show where we get down with the sickness.
Why?
Why? But why?
Because I thought about it in the shower, and I wasn't paying attention before we started.
Yeah, but what does that have to do with anything?
What
It has
sickness?
nothing to do with anything.
What sickness? What sickness are we down with?
The sickness of not being on vacation anymore.
Oh, that's true.
Mm.
Listeners, for you, there's been no gap, but for us, it's been a while.
Yeah.
Ripley went on vacation.
Yeah.
John and I did not,
No.
but
But you got to be on podcast vacation.
that's true.
Mind you, I have been doing, like, the opposite of a vacation.
Working?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah,
Noteworthy.
I got to have alone at home time,
Yeah.
which doesn't happen.
No. Especially not during the summer.
Mm-hmm.
We really strain for our alone time in the summer.
Yeah.
I actually know quite a bit about what that feels like.
Well, I guess we're down with the sickness.
Oh no. We've caught the COVID. Rip us. We have
two
COVID.
of us have.
Ha ha. I actually don't know how that hasn't happened yet.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, shut in.
I mean, yes, but that's not the point.
Okay.
I go to things. I go to movies.
With us.
Yeah.
When we invite you.
Yeah. What's your point?
So, it's time to do our preferred reading order, which means Thor first. And then we'll have a bracing palate cleanser.
And
end with some absolutely bonkers horse shit, as usual.
Of course.
you know, given the cover we have up, my brain was like, what do you mean Thor? That's Hercules.
How do you mean Hercules?
I mean, Thor's name is bigger.
His is bigger, but Herc is doing Herc shit.
Yeah, of course.
It's not all about size.
He doesn't do anything else. Other than Herc shit.
Don't attack your boyfriend.
But before we get into Herc shit, can you guys tell me what happened last time?
Only because I'm cheating, there's a
vacuum
space...
cleaners.
I know there's a space vacuum.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason I even remember the space suck.
What was the deal with the space vacuum?
So the space vacuum cleaners, so the people who blew up Rigel, the space vacuum lords or whatever, on their 5 million Death Stars
It
surrounding
turns out...
a sun.
It turns out
Yeah,
they're
5 million Death Stars surrounding a sun.
So they had this, like, protection thing? No, or was it? What was that? The little...
The Guardian.
The vacuum cleaner mechanics.
Yeah,
Right.
them, who turned out to be giants to Thor.
Yes.
No. The vacuum cleaner mechanics worked for the Death Star Lords.
Yes, but
but they were giants.
they were giants. They were
Compared
like
to Thor.
the
Yeah,
Thor and
okay.
the
Yeah,
Asgardians.
you're right. They were big.
They were
I
big, just
forgot
not
they
as
were
big
big.
as the other big people.
I was so caught off guard by the bigness of the other guys, I
Yes.
completely forgot
That
the first guys
the first
were
guys
big.
were also big. I
And I
remembered
mean-
that.
They're next to Asgardians, and Asgardians are also big.
They're quite big, yeah.
So our bigger.
So it's a Russian nesting doll of bigness.
Yes, it's but ironically, Silas Grant is at the middle of the nesting doll because he's like the littlest of them.
Yeah. No, I think Tana is technically
I
the
don't know,
littlest.
debatable. All of her mass goes into her fucking head.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't think her head fits inside Silas's, so that nesting doll's gonna be a little weird.
I think we just can't include Tana.
But so you put Silas inside Thor, you put Thor inside the vacuum cleaner
Why
people.
is Silas inside Thor?
That's
Well,
that's
don't ask.
Hercules'
Maybe that's
job.
why Herc's mad.
Yeah, could be. So, what was going on with the vacuum
Alright,
cleaner
so the
mechanics?
space vacuum cleaners had to fuel their planets, which were all like 5 million Death Stars around a sun.
Because this is a very weird ripoff of Galactus.
And they had to suck up all this stuff with the vacuum
like
cleaner
space
mechanics
debris and burn
to kind
it.
of fuel the planets.
Like, genuinely,
Well,
like,
they
worse
hadn't
Galactus.
bothered to look at any of the other planets in 14,000 years or some shit.
Something like that.
So they didn't know that everybody was fucking dead except
On all
for
4 of the other planets.
Yeah,
all
yeah.
4,900,000.
You know, last time they checked, all those planets had people on them. How are they supposed to know that, however many millions or billions
They were
of
here
years or
last
whatever?
time
I
we
mean,
looked.
some things happened in between there, but that's basically the gist of it. That's all that was important. And then,
Then they realized that there were people on all these little planets.
yeah, they thought there wasn't people anywhere else in the universe.
Yep.
But they were
And that
just
wasn't
caught off by
ever-
their bigness.
That wasn't ever actually addressed, by the way. But, yeah, so apparently because the other 4 of the Black Stars were dead, basically, that meant that they could stop blowing up smaller worlds and eating them for some reason.
What, are they going to consume those worlds now?
I don't know. It just means they don't have to do it anymore.
And I think that was the whole story, right? That
Yeah.
was the whole everything.
Wow, this really is a worse Galactus story.
Yeah.
Like, this is Galactus, but worse.
Yeah, that was it.
That's why this isn't...
Like I said, stuff happened in between there, but it wasn't really important in the long run.
Oh, wow, that's sad. I hope this will be more memorable. I really hope this will be more memorable.
On with the show!
So yeah, Jerry's run thus far has had its ups and downs, from Thor finally refusing to accept Odin's bullshit,
Which was great!
and the first good Loki characterization ever,
Which was great!
to the 4D man,
Which was not great.
and now this shit.
Which was actually...
I don't know. I'm looking at fucking Hercules here, and I got high hopes.
It's been...
yeah, but...
Well, it's been a wild ride, but now Jerry's bringing out a crowd pleaser.
Woo!
It's just, when Stan reheated Galactus, because he did,
Yeah.
he reheated Galactus, and we got reheated Galactus. Why didn't we have Galactus leftovers from Stan? But when it wasn't great. When Jerry brought some more Galactus leftovers out, it was weirder. It wasn't good. Galactus leftovers suck.
It was knockoff.
Stop. Oh god, it was
This
knockoff
is the
Galactus.
Galactus we have at home.
Yeah.
I don't want the Galactus at home. Look, just give us original flavor Galactus again. It's better. It's not great, but it's better.
So, let's see if the Prince of Power can take this run from 0 to hero.
Actually, I'm curious. Is Herc just a reoccurring side character at this point?
Yes.
Because I know
He doesn't get his own book until later.
Because I know at some point he gets his own run of things.
Yeah, but it's always a limited run.
He was part of the champions.
The original champions.
That's true. Let's get started with Hercules, with Thor number 221, from November of 1973, written by Jerry Conway, penciled by John Buscema, inked by Mike Esposito, colored by George Rousseau, lettered by John Costanza.
Are those some new names?
No.
No, none.
Wow, I'm really starting to blank on some of these names. Like, Buscema, I always recognize, but...
There's been something of a time skip since the end of our last issue.
Sure.
Has he gone back to fucking Earth yet?
No.
I hope that's not Earth.
We last...
I thought in the
technically it
interim,
is,
maybe.
actually. We last left Thor escaping from the Black Stars with all his friends and the Subworlders, and now we see him merrily carving a path through the Grecian warriors who block the way to Mount Olympus.
Wait. So this is Marvel... Oh no. I may not know nearly as much about Norse stuff as you do, but I feel I know about as much about Greek stuff as you do about Norse stuff.
Yeah.
And when I said, I don't think this looks like Earth, that's because I know what Greek stuff is supposed to look like.
Uh-huh.
This ain't that, Chief.
Oh, dude. This early Hercules stuff is going to be just as painful for you as early Thor stuff is for me, okay?
Oh, no.
And I look forward to that.
Why do you hurt me like this?
I didn't do it. Jerry did it. And John. Well, did I say he was doing this merrily? I meant furiously. The Odinson is in a tizzy about something, and he's not letting anyone stand in his way as he vows to find Hercules and make him pay for his treachery.
Pay?
He's fairly determined, and despite the arrival of cavalry, he manages to defeat the defenders before flying straight for the peak.
That's supposed to be Greek-style cavalry.
Yeah.
Sure.
They're Greeks, can't you tell?
No, I can't. Oh my god. These aren't even... These are... Like, the generic Marvel Asgardians are always so weird.
Mm-hmm.
And these are just as weird.
Good.
They look exactly the fucking same.
Yeah!
That's the
They look
thing.
nearly identical. I wouldn't know them apart.
I know. So he flies up to the peak. Above him, Zeus watches in shock with Ares at his side. He cannot believe that the Asgardian would make such a clear declaration of war when their kingdoms are bound by a peace treaty.
Ares, my guy, that is a bold mohawk with all that balding.
He's always had that.
Yeah, he's always had a mohawk. This is interesting, the pointed sideburns thing, though. That's interesting.
I mean, look at him. He's balding.
I don't know if that's balding or if that's intentional.
Oh,
yeah, I think this is intentional.
Are you telling me he's part tonsured, part, mohawk?
Yes. He wanted the mohawk and the burns.
So he's got mostly tonsured, but a mohawk up the middle.
He's got, like, wraparound shades, but around the back of his head.
Oh
Yeah.
my god. My god, that
They're
is...
just backwards, because they look over the other side of the ear.
Oh god.
It's worth noting that Jerry's narration describes Zeus as having white hair.
He's never had white hair.
He's got red hair in the picture.
He's got very extremely red hair.
It's Thor cape red. It's Ares cloak red.
Ares urges his liege to strike his...
What the fuck is Ares wearing his fucking battle pajamas?
Yes.
Yes.
They're Zeus hair red too.
Mm-hmm.
Ares urges his liege to strike the Asgardians while the iron is hot. And while the two gods are discussing this, Hercules bursts into the room.
In his short skirt.
Well, yeah. He's always got that.
I know, but he's got
It's
the
his
sluttiest skirt.
He does. He has the slutty skirt.
And
he has the fucking thigh-high gladiator sandals.
That also look just as slutty, frankly.
He has the
I mean,
quote-unquote
that's
shirt.
The shirt. That's a shirt. You mean
It
the
covers-
strap.
That's just so he can go into McDonald's. It, like, covers one nipple.
Yeah. The Prince of Power is amazed that his father would even listen to Ares, given his recent treachery. Hercules treats him like he's not his literal brother. So at least we know the Asgardians aren't the only ones who are constantly having their family ties fucked with.
I mean, that tracks.
It does.
But also, the lore on these two is so messy.
Well, yeah. I would not call comic book Hercules comparable to actual mythology Hercules in any way.
I feel like at least Thor is closer.
Ish.
Ish.
Ish. But we all know that Ares is a son of Zeus, so I'm just going to call him that.
Oh god, you know what?
Sorry, Jerry.
It's closer-ish
Ares
because
Zeusson.
they put more work
That's
into
not how
Ares
Zeus work.
They put more work into it because Thor is more important to Marvel than
Well, they put
Hercules.
more work into it because Hercules is a side character.
Yes.
Put more work into it because they've had more opportunities.
Right. The war god is annoyed that his brother keeps bringing up his treason, because he already paid penance for it and is back in good standing with dear old dad.
you still did the thing, my guy.
Right. But Herc isn't so quick to forgive and forget, even as he helps himself to a goblet of wine. Of course, because
Apparently
it's Olympus.
something happened in Avengers.
Yep.
I don't think
Things do happen in Avengers.
Yes, a lot of things happen. They usually don't matter.
I've been led to believe that was not true up to this point.
No.
No, things happen.
you
Things just don't happen to Thor.
You misunderstand. Things happen in Avengers. Just, they don't matter to anybody.
No, they matter to some people.
No.
Not Thor.
Not Thor.
Thor's usually not on the fucking planet anymore.
I mean,
no wonder.
Let's think about it. This doesn't matter to Thor. This matters to Hercules.
Zeus interrupts their bickering to get Herc's attention on the matter at hand, and the two of them look over the balcony to see Thor arriving in the city. This at least looks more Grecian.
It
Yeah.
does look Greek. It has a
A very Hellenic.
Yeah, they actually have columns with, they're simple, but they are proper columns.
At first, Herc is all excited, like, oh look, it's my buddy Thor, I wonder why he's here.
Mm-hmm.
It's my boyfriend!
But then Thor starts yelling about finding Hercules and calling everyone a fop. A warrior named Kratos steps up to defend the honor of the son of Zeus.
Kratos?
Nope, Kratos.
Kratos. I don't know.
The singular.
It's close.
I'm calling him Kratos, and he's going to be saying "boy."
Boy.
Boy.
No, it's Kratos in the singular.
I don't know. So is this the Kratos we have at home?
Yes. Yes, it is. And while he steps up to defend Hercules' honor, and Thor quickly defeats him, prompting Herc to yell, "He beat up my friend!" and jump over the balcony to fight the Thunder God.
God, he's so impulsive. I love it.
We get a nice upskirt here.
Sexy.
Do.
Interesting, the fabric...
Yeah, fabric draping.
Reality
warping.
Gotta warp that loincloth back down over his fucking dick.
Because he's freeballing it under there.
Oh, absolutely.
And he's hung, because he's Hercules. Come on. Come on.
Which is really distressing by how short it is.
Yeah.
He punches Thor with enough force to send him through a nearby wall.
I mean, to be honest, he's actually wearing too much clothes if they want to do some proper wrestling.
It's true. They're not wrestling, though.
I think he needs the lion cape.
Mm-hmm.
But the Odinson recovers quickly. The Odinson recovers quickly, dashing into the battle with a cry of, "For Odin! For Krista! For Asgard!"
For Krista! That happened. That did happen. That's Hildy's sister.
We keep forgetting about it.
Hildy's sister
story.
Who took the one ring to rule them all, and then teleported.
Because that's what the One Ring...
Or rather, the other way around. Went crazy and then teleported.
Yeah, because apparently that's what the One Ring to rule them all makes you do, or something. This was a deep F story. Not a C, not a D, an F story.
Mom was like, I think Krista might have drowned someone. Can you go talk to her?
This is how forgettable that story was, but apparently that was what this was all about.
No, that was set up for this.
Why didn't we just focus on that? This would have been better!
Well, it's now time to fill in the blanks.
Oh, yeah.
After leaving the Black Stars, Thor and company returned to the Rigelian fleet and said goodbye to both Tanit and Silas,
the Rigelians are smaller than Silas.
Yes, see? That's what I'm saying.
But their heads are huge!
Yes.
They're smaller than
they fit in his torso.
Like the fucking Men in Black. The Men in Black guys also fit inside the Rigelian.
So they say goodbye to both Tanit and Silas, who decides to stay with his new friend.
Okay, Silas, sure.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll hear from him again.
Yeah, I hope so.
The next time the Rigelians show up.
Hey, Sam Moreau. Hey, Sam Moreau.
Tell us about Silas
Grant. Hang on,
what is the next appearance
I'll look.
Silas Grant?
Silas Grant.
Silas Grant.
Nope.
No?
Nothing. This is a flashback appearance. His last appearance was in 220.
Holy
No
shit.
future appearances.
He never comes back.
They forget about him immediately.
They forgot about Silas Grant. Sir, we send off a real one. To Silas Grant.
To Silas Grant, my cup is empty.
Skull. That's Viking for cheers.
I'm actually a little sad. This guy was just a random hanger-on.
He was a rando.
But he was so random, it was great. I
love Silas. I'm really disappointed. Can you take over Thor? Can you bring back Silas Grant?
I mean,
no.
When I'm writing Thor,
bring back Silas Grant.
Yeah, for sure.
Because
I'll bring back Silas Grant, and I'll also bring back Thor Girl, my favorite.
I mean, you are going to
Thor side character.
Now remember, you are going to have to follow up Al Ewing.
Oh, I'm going to take up immediately after Al Ewing?
Yes, you're going to have to...
Wow, I didn't know this was happening.
You're going to have to take up after him, and you're going to be compared to him all the time, and people are going to say you're not good enough, even if you're great.
Well, I mean, I'm a queer woman, so that was always going to happen.
Oh, boy. That really is how that works, fuck.
So, The colonizers fixed their ship, and they sailed back to Asgard, only to be greeted by Hildegard's frenzied concern for her sister. Odin explained the situation and showed everyone what he and Hildy had already seen.
Oh, it's Seth!
Yeah, Seth is here.
Seth, who is still unnamed and never gets a name.
No, his name is Seth!
I love that he doesn't have an official name.
This is pretty awesome looking. Oh my
Krista?
god, we got the slave Leia bikini
I
before
literally
the slave Leia bikini was a thing!
I was about to make that joke. Fuck you.
Ew. It's obvious! How could I not?
It's Krista in a slave Leia costume, being held captive by both Hades and Hercules.
You know, this only feels like in character for one of them.
Yeah. Rather than think about this critically for any amount of time,
He smashes the big screen.
Thor did a fucking acrobatic pirouette off the goddamn handle.
Uh-huh.
And-
That sure doesn't sound like a phrase from a cursed webcomic.
It's not.
He throws a fist through
I made it
Dad's fucking flat screen.
Yeah, he did. And he immediately went to storm Mount Olympus to fight Hercules and free Krista. Odin tacitly agreed to him doing this, but when asked, refused to let the others go for actually a decent reason. Thor rolling up to Olympus for a grudge match could be explained as the passionate response of one man, while a larger force would be quickly labeled as an act of war.
Jerry, you're actually writing good again. What the fuck? Was this the story you wanted to tell?
So yeah, Thor's being kind of impulsive based on very little information, but it feels pretty in character for
Yeah,
him.
that tracks.
Because that's Thor for you. He is impulsive. He
Like-
doesn't really think.
He finds out his good buddy Hildegard's sister is missing, and that his other good buddy Hercules might have something to do with it.
Well, and then he's going to use the one tool in his
Yeah,
toolkit.
I'm going to go sort this out one-on-one.
Yeah, absolute himbo behavior.
And his tool is violence.
Yeah, when your only tool is a hammer, it's literally a hammer.
When your
Literally.
only tool is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. Herc, you look like a nail right now, and I'm going to hammer you so goddamn hard.
That doesn't appear to be what's happening.
Phrasing. That'll come later. A part of him is angry that Krista is being held captive, but an equal part of him is angry at the idea that Herc could do such a thing, and he just doesn't take any time to think about it whatsoever.
Thor, you know Hercules. Don't you trust him? Don't you believe in your boyfriend?
No, but he hasn't taken a second to think about it yet.
No, he has not.
The brain cells still fucking DVD.
They're rubbing together.
Wait, you're telling me the brain cells haven't actually produced the the yet? They're
No.
still thinking.
Thinking, yes.
The little swirly thing is...
Recalculating.
Yes.
Recalculating.
And he got to Olympus, he beat up a bunch of guys, he's now fighting Herc, and the recalculating is still happening.
Oh, that's going to be a continued theme for this story.
Oh, this is a misunderstanding fight of the highest order.
I
can
know,
already
but
tell.
I love that Thor still hasn't gotten to that thought. The brain cells haven't fired the answer to the question.
The fight continues in the present. It's been a while since the last time these two fought, and Thor is amazed all over again by Hercules' strength. Under other circumstances, he would enjoy this.
Wait, wasn't the last time they fought Thor was depowered a little?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As it is, however, things are a little more serious. He urges the Greek to release the captive Krista, but Hercules has no goddamn idea what he's saying. The Odinson hurls a broken pillar at him and asks that he surrender, if ever they were truly friends.
Actually, I believe that's a Roman-style pillar.
Herc says that they must not have been very close friends, because if they were, Thor would know that he'd never surrender, which is a fair rebuttal.
Now, if memory...
I believe you're correct.
Yeah, if
about
memory
that.
serves, the Greeks preferred...
Had the round one and the square one.
No, it's more than that. The Greeks preferred them in pieces, but the Romans wanted one solid piece of stone.
That had to be a hell of a fucking doing to do.
Yeah, see, the Romans were real show-offs about their stonework, whereas the Greeks were just fine with carving one section of a pillar at a
they're
time.
not super consistent about even what naming they use, so you can make the case for either.
I know that. I mean, they've figured some of that stuff out recently.
I know, but we're still calling, like, Pluto is Pluto.
Yeah. I know
Zeus is Zeus.
I know eventually there's going to be a Roman god of love and a Greek god of love, and they both coexist simultaneously.
And
So-
then
that's
there's
gonna be...
another person who's also named Venus who has nothing to do with any of it.
Yeah. Well, I think it would make sense for Olympus to have both, like, Greek and Roman kind of stuff intermingled.
Since they have both Greek and Roman
Well,
guys.
Yes, but in the Marvel Universe, the way that gods work
Yeah.
is that they're, like, basically prayed into existence.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes sense.
I'm good with
Yeah,
that.
yeah, and since the Romans did take over Greece and
Mhm.
became Greek,
Yep.
that one actually tracks way better than I think the Marvel creators ever intended, because most people...
all of it tracks better than they originally intended because better writers down the line pulled it together. Hercules punches the god of thunder with a sound effect that says
Bang!
bang.
What are these? I was about to comment on the sound effect. Thracko!
Thracko is a lot, but spang. This one I mentioned specifically because Jerry says that any reader who can suggest a better noise will receive a genuine mint condition no prize. Up above the battle, Zeus is too engrossed in the drama to notice Ares slinking away.
Mhm.
The war god sneaks down into the depths of the palace, where he meets with a servant of Hades named Snatos, which is a very...
It's a Greekish sounding name.
Yeah, there's a lot of those going around.
Greek-ish.
Ares commands him to tell his master that the time is nigh to invade,
Alright, Snatos, get to it.
just after he frames Thor for killing Hercules.
So,
John Buscema really excels on expressions, man.
Yeah.
he does.
I was noticing that earlier, and just look at fucking
Ares and his, evil...
bizarre haircut.
he really... I think he's balding.
I don't. I
I
think
know.
this is just a choice.
God, he carved that into his head.
Uh-huh.
The Prince of Power taunts his foe, accusing him of getting tired. Thor is not tired, and he demonstrates this by using Herc as a bowling ball to knock over a group of old men.
No! They didn't do anything!
Well, Hercules stops to help them back up and reassure them before running back into the fray.
Thank you, Hercules.
You're a good boy.
Only to be knocked headfirst into the temple stairs in a panel that feels somewhat Looney Tunes-esque.
Yeah.
I want him to continue up a little bit, though, with more...
Yeah.
Thump, bunt, smash!
Thor advances to finish the job, but finally Zeus stops him, having seen enough of this charade. He has gleaned something of the truth, and bids the Asgardian explain why he's here. Thor does so, and afterwards Zeus says that Hercules can't have kidnapped Krista because there's been a festival going on at the palace for the past fortnight, and he's been too busy drinking and fucking.
Yeah.
He literally says that.
Wait. For Hercules has not left the palace for a fortnight.
There's been a festival of feast, wine, and women, and my son was most prominently present.
Oh, shit.
It's like, look, he couldn't have been doing this. He was knee-deep in poon.
Zeus officially... We have it here, folks. Zeus says Herc fucks.
And that was never
It was
in question.
never.
I know that, but, his father is like... My son's been fucking too much
His
to be
son has
doing
been
anything?
wearing thigh-high gladiator
Just
boots.
as-
I think that was
That's
a
never
given.
been in question, just as it's never been in question that he's bisexual, even though that hasn't been canonically confirmed until recently.
Like, he's saying women.
Like, we know.
But come on.
We know.
Herc is... Look
He's
at that.
Greek.
Look at that outfit. He's sleeping with guys, too. Come on.
Absolutely.
Come on.
He knows what he's doing.
Hey, that's what olive oil's for.
Now that Herc has an alibi, Thor apologizes, and is immediately forgiven because these two are truly the most amazingly wholesome morons to ever exist.
The brain cells finally, they both simultaneously boink.
No,
Yep.
that's because Herc had the other brain cell.
It's true. When you get them together, they have about half a brain. So what did you guys think of this issue?
Excellent. 5
I-
out of 5.
No notes. I think I think this is the story Jerry actually wanted to tell all this time, and for some reason he told all that other
It
stuff.
is so much more fun when we're doing God shit than
Yes.
other shit.
Yes.
I mean, like, I want Earth shit back. I miss Earth shit, but like, if we're
All
not
the-
doing Earth shit, can we at least be doing God shit?
All the space stuff was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry has no idea what to do with space stuff. Not that Stan knew what to do with space stuff,
Right.
but Jerry also doesn't know.
Pretty
what to do
sure
with space stuff.
including Hercules and making it fun is a quick shortcut for me giving anything a 5, though.
Yeah,
That's true.
I'll double down on that. Sure, we're giving that a 5 because finally Jerry's writing
Finally,
is
some good fucking food.
actually yes.
What do you think it has on CMRO?
3.5, 3.2, 3.02.
3.03.
Wow!
Fuck, man!
You were so
Bam!
close.
These are some ugly people on this cover.
Yeah.
There's some real lookers. Who did the cover on this one?
Gil Kane.
Ah.
So let's go on to Thor number 222.
Oh god, I just saw that loincloth.
Where?
Yeah.
Oh, he got changed out of his pajamas. He
Yeah!
got dressed.
Thor,
Which involves less clothes. A lot less clothes.
Thor 222 from January of 1974. Happy New Year!
Woo!
Yeah.
Written by Jerry Conway, penciled by John Buscema, inked by Joe Sinnott, colored by Petra Scatezzi, lettered by John Costanza, and the cover, as I said, is by Gil Kane.
What the fuck is this man's helmet? I hate it so much.
Yeah, it's bad. Everything is good now between our two boys, which means it's time for some friendly arm wrestling.
These sure are some...
We've forgotten about Krista, huh?
Yep. Well, yeah, because Thor... Herc has the other brain cell. Also,
They
I'm
gotta
noticing-
wrestle for it.
Did Herc's clothes change color?
No, it's just inked weird. The other Olympians gather around to cheer on one or the other, as both Herc and Thor have apparently decided that the winner will be the one to rescue Krista from Pluto.
Why? Why don't
Why-
you just go together?
Because they don't have a brain. They each have the brain cell.
Well, yeah, that's
They-
the problem.
They're not cooperating, so the brain cells are not rubbing against each other.
They haven't realized that they could do this together and be more powerful as a team.
There's some disagreement between the onlookers over which is stronger, but it seems they may be evenly matched, as they both strain for a tense moment before suddenly the table buckles and breaks into pieces.
Okay, so the table lost.
Yes.
True.
However, the end of the match isn't quite the end of the disagreement, as both of them think that they alone should be the one to fight Pluto, and now start punching each other again.
Oh
Why?
my. Because...
But playfully this time.
Yeah.
But because the table broke their stalemate, and now they need to keep going.
They trade blows for a moment before Zeus comes downstairs, like a dad telling his kid to stop fighting with his friend.
Yeah, no, this is entirely...
Exactly like that, in fact.
This like that. That's literally what this is.
Right, you come down the stairs and the kid's got the other kid with a fucking arm bar. It's like, knock it off!
Knock it off, you two.
He says that maybe instead of fighting over who gets to play the Xbox, you can just play a co-op game.
Look, Halo is right there. You both love it. You both want to play it. Play it together. Co-op is awesome.
And neither of you will be left out. And they're both like, oh shit, I didn't think of that. Because they're so goddamn stupid, and I love them so much.
Goddamn stupid.
I love them.
God, there needs to be like a limited series, just Thor and Herc doing some absolute bizarro horse shit, just away from everything else. I want a limited series.
Like God stuff, Earth stuff, God and Earth
We
stuff.
no spoilers, but we have so much Thor and Herc to look forward to.
I'm
Oh,
sure, but I
thank
want
God.
more. I always want more. I want only Thor and
Look,
Herc.
as someone who has wandered down the Herc rabbit hole in more recent years because of another character I like, Herc is great.
He is
He
great.
is just great.
Yeah.
Especially in the hands of someone who knows what to do with them.
I guess nobody really noticed or cared that Ares had left at some point.
Real Loki energy.
His writing, yeah.
For someone who is the god of war, this is some real Loki energy.
He's writing
This is
his...
gorgeous.
It is. It's really nice.
Yeah, John Buscema is getting better at
Killing
this.
it. Who did colors again? Sorry.
Petroskitezi.
Nice!
They've got a good team.
He's riding his horse through a forest when he stops to get a drink from a pond.
Oh, shit. There's a tree in the background that's just background.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, damn. That's cool.
So he stops to get a drink from a pond, as I was saying, laying flat on his belly with his face in the water like an absolute weirdo.
Well, he doesn't have a cup. I'm sorry.
A choice for which he is rewarded by getting jump-scared by a troll under the surface of the pool.
So, is that a Greek troll, or...?
He points his spear at it, but it talks fast, revealing that its name is Nestos.
Everything is just
Another
sort of
any
Greek
word
name.
with an os on the end.
So that's
he's not
a Greek
Wateros.
Yeah.
troll. So this is a Greek
Yeah.
troll.
Right, you can
Yeah.
tell because his name ends in os.
You can tell because he's a different color from the other trolls.
Ah. Yeah, the Norse trolls don't like him.
Yeah, so he's another servant of Pluto, and he delivers the message that Ares should wait at the gates of hell, and there the two of them will kill Hercules.
Wait. I mean, I realize the ancient Greeks had their own perception of hell, but,
yeah, no, Jerry's calling it hell.
are we... So we're not going to run into Mephisto, are we?
No.
Because, you know, when Marvel starts talking about hell...
No, there are any number of hells.
Yeah, there are.
I'm aware. That's the problem. At least with,
Death in the Marvel Universe is very complicated.
It really
yeah,
is.
I mean, you should ask us Marvel these days.
Back on Asgard, the assembled gods stand in Odin's throne room, watching the crystal ball with some consternation. They can see that Thor is now working with Hercules, but they also saw that Hercules was working with Pluto. Sif and Hildegard speculate wildly, calling Thor's loyalty into doubt, which seems like a weird thing for Sif to do.
Yes.
This is the weirdest the gang is watching television scene I think they've done so far.
I'm really enjoying Odin's look.
It's a new fit!
It is. In response to their concerns, Odin changes the image in the magic TV to show Crystal still held captive by Pluto.
It's just all he has the time... This is all he's doing. I mean,
They'll just watching
all
him
he
sit
ever
around and
does.
arm wrestle Hercules.
I mean, no,
That's all Odin ever does.
I mean, I was actually more talking about Pluto and the fact that
Pluto.
all he's been doing so far is just watching Krista.
I mean,
But to
there's
be
a
fair,
reason he put her in that outfit.
Yeah, I was about to say, I realized that when I thought about it, that, you know, the moment you put someone in a Slave Leia outfit, well, why are you... And you're gonna stay and watch, I guess?
Yeah.
If you're an evil monster guy?
Yeah. He suspects that there is some treachery afoot, and that Hercules might not actually be involved in the way they first thought. He trusts Thor to do the right thing, and so sends the ladies off with that to chew on. Yet when they are gone, he tells Seth that he is concerned. Thor and Hercules are traveling by foot to the gates of hell. I don't know why we're calling it hell.
That's pretty gay sounding.
Hell is gay.
They're walking through a forest when they are suddenly attacked by a bunch of green trolls.
Green trolls!
Sure.
You can tell they're different from Norse trolls because they're a different color.
They're green.
I
Yes.
didn't realize that.
The trolls descend from the trees, dogpiling the two gods for the briefest of moments.
Spacko!
Oh, the return of Spacko, huh?
Spacko. They have the advantage of surprise and superior numbers, but still don't put up much of a fight against our boys.
Man, you know someone fucked up when they have to give you the arrow to tell you where to look?
Yeah.
Yeah, this page is not
The page layout.
well laid out.
Yeah, somewhere along the way you realize, fuck.
You screwed up in production. Whoops.
As they fight, Thor wonders if their movements are too predictable, and if Pluto knows what they will do before they do it.
Yes.
I
Because
mean,
you're stupid.
yeah, true.
Was that not obvious? Was that not obvious?
It's not through foresight, it's just because you're fucking stupid.
You don't need a seer to figure out what these two are doing.
If he does, then they're at a pretty steep disadvantage, says Thor. Herc is like, oh really? I didn't think so.
We're just gonna fight our way through. Who cares if he can see anything?
But hey, I know a witch who lives nearby, so we could always go ask her for some intel to even the playing field.
I'm not sure that's how that works, Herc.
I mean, why not? There's a witch nearby.
There's a witch nearby. The Prince of Power grabs onto Thor's feet as they take off into the sky.
He just hugs his calves.
To find this old crone named Chaga.
Sure.
Chaga,
so
Chaga.
She's
Chaga,
not
toot,
Greek.
As they fly, they discuss how Thor had at first thought that Hercules was involved in the capture of Krista. Neither of them is sure how this could be, except that someone must have been impersonating him to throw the Odinson off their scent. If that's the case, Herc vows that he will make that person regret it.
They are also several steps ahead of Thor, if that's the case.
A few minutes later, they arrive at the witch's hut. She's actually pretty chill.
Cool.
Inviting them both in and giving them drinks.
Just because she's a witch doesn't mean she's mean.
Exactly.
She's a good witch.
They sit around and keep her company for a while, telling her stories, which she's grateful for. She doesn't get out much, and there isn't really anyone nearby to talk to.
I mean, I guess she doesn't like the trolls.
No. Eventually, she draws ashes from the fire to divine the answers to their questions, telling them that Ares awaits them at the gates of hell. Herc is like, ah yes, Ares, my brother who is of a strikingly similar height and build. He could very easily impersonate me. So that's one mystery solved.
Amazing. Who could it be?
Ares with the bathroom mat on his head.
They take to the skies once more, flying the rest of the way to where Ares waits for them. They see him standing there, but land some ways off behind a rock. Hercules wants to be the one to fight him, still steaming over being framed, but Thor is the title character and so insists that it has to be him.
You can do it together!
Right.
Ares can probably predict Thor a little less than he can.
That's true.
Fucking
He doesn't know Thor as much. He leaps out to battle the war god, his hammer clashing with the sword of Ares. Thor feels that somehow Ares is stronger than he was before.
But you know what? These two don't get to have the sibling energy that Herc and Ares would have.
That's true.
Like, can't predict them as easily, but also sibling fight.
By Heimdall's eyes.
He doesn't take much time to consider this before punching him into some rocks. Ares responds by chucking a boulder at him, but Thor shatters it with his hammer. Hercules, who's just chilling on the sidelines, asks Thor where he got his hammer.
This is the most sibling energy, I think.
And they literally just are having a conversation in the middle of the fight.
Like Hercules watching Thor beat up his brother.
I can't help but feel like this is an L for Ares. Like, first of all, you're not even worth both of them fighting you.
And the other one is literally your brother.
And they're holding conversation. You're not even worthy of their whole focus.
Exactly. That's gotta be a blow to the ego.
But you're the god of war, and your brother's just talking to the guy beating you up.
No, hey, Herc, maybe you should go look for Krista.
Yeah.
Nah, I want to see how this plays out.
Well, yeah, he wants to watch and support his friend.
And also see his brother get the shit beat out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has many motivations.
I mean, he also wants to watch that ass.
Of course. Thor... Oops, sorry. It's okay. Thor answers that Mjolnir was a gift from his father and that it's enchanted so that only he can lift it. A thought that somehow makes him realize that Ares is being empowered by Pluto in some way.
Huh?
Ares is like, yeah, you caught me. Too bad knowing that won't stop me from killing you and manufacturing a war between Olympus and Asgard.
My guy, they're probably watching you fight.
The idea of this plot angers the Odinsons so much that he's able to overcome his Grecian foe, throwing him headfirst into a cliff which shatters and buries him in rubble.
Swako! Bakum!
Bakum! Swako is making several appearances in this issue. Now all they have to do is go to hell and fight Pluto, which should be easy peasy.
That's all.
That's all, nothing.
Just gotta go to hell.
Thor is like, if thou hast not the stomach for such battle, thou may remain with Ares. I go to seek the Lord of Death.
I double dog dare ya.
And Hercules replies, thou didst misunderstand me, Thor. I'm with thee, yea, to the end.
Okay.
Which is very homoerotic.
Okay, Samwise Gamgee.
Yeah.
I cannot carry Mr. Frodo.
But I can carry you!
What'd you guys think of that one?
No notes. 5. These covers suck, though.
Yeah, they're
they
not
do.
good. So next we're gonna read Thor number 223 from February of 1974.
Okay, wait, what's this? This was Pluto's plot, not Ares' plot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Pluto's idea was to Golemify a sort of friend of Thor.
I mean...
Frame Thor... So get Thor
Someone-
mad.
Frame Hercules.
Yes. Frame Hercules so he can frame Thor and start a war.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense.
It does.
You know, especially when odds are the Asgardians can watch Thor.
It's sure a good thing that Hildegard's fucking sister,
Who we've never heard of before.
who we've never heard of, walked into the middle of a forest during a fight.
Right.
Sure is that was something very foreseeable. That I'm just a dog chasing a car. I don't know what I'm gonna do if I catch it.
So this issue was written by Jerry Conway, penciled by John Buscema, inked by Mike Esposito, colored by Petra Scatezzi, lettered by Artie Simek, and the cover is once again by Gil Kane.
Gil Kane, you're not good.
Not bringing his A game.
Yeah, you're not. Come on, buddy. Throw in a little more effort.
Like, I get what you're trying to go for, but
There are some
but Thor,
issues.
Thor, you look kind of like more like Nick Cage.
Yeah.
I'm very confused about like where everybody is laid out because this is like 3 feet of space, maybe.
Pluto is standing over Krista.
Right, but Thor's leg is also between
Yeah.
Pluto. Like this is a very
Where's
condensed.
Where's the rest of? I mean, there's some blue.
You can see it carry through.
Oh, that's his leg.
That's his leg.
Oh, I didn't realize that was his leg. Yeah, that's
So
kind of the problem
everybody
with this.
is between.
Yeah.
So
They're all standing in the same spot.
Thor's leg is
Um,
under Pluto.
Which, as we all know, a
And then
medium-sized
Krista's leg.
creature occupies a 5-foot square.
Yes.
Krista's
Every
leg is
creature
also-
occupies a 5-foot square. Do
And
not
they cannot pass in each other.
Don't tell that to Baldur's Gate 3. No, don't tell that to people who play Baldur's Gate 3. They won't understand.
Finally, we have arrived in Hell, which is still not what it's called.
Who's hell? We've got a couple of those.
Thor and Hercules are walking alone through the land of the dead, not completely sure where they're going.
I walk through empty streets.
The dialogue is saying that it's dark here and they can't see anything, but as usual, that's not reflected in the art. I could suspend my disbelief for the coloring because they have limited technology and people still need to be able to read it. But they did also draw a fucking fire right here, and that's harder to ignore.
I am starting to wonder if they're actually...
That's a really bad-looking fire.
But I am genuinely starting to wonder if they're using the Marvel method to make this Marvel comic.
What the what?
The Marvel method, where it's something about the artist and the writer actually talking about making the...
You'll see noted even like on some more closer collaborations where there's more say-so. You'll see that in the X-Men stuff actually, where they'll note that Chris and John are both kind of writers.
I'm getting the distinct impression that they're not using it. they're not. You don't...
Yeah, we've had some errors this past few issues.
Jerry says it's dark. John says, no, actually, there's a fire.
There's a fire.
Also, fuck you. Fuck you. Zeus has red hair, you moron.
Jerry says Zeus has white hair. Jerry says, no, he doesn't. Red. Thor cape red, actually. And the fact is, he gave Ares a different shade of red hair.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think they're using the Marvel method.
Well, Hercules is immediately feeling impatient, but luckily he doesn't have to wait long before they are both attacked by a quartet of bat furries.
I'm sorry. Look at
his face. So they're attacked by a quartet of bat furries.
Oh my god, they are! They're furries!
2 go after Herc, while another 2 square off with Thor.
But that's not how bats work!
It's fine.
Fine.
He knocks one out with a single punch, then a second tackles him off a cliff. It squirms, but can't get away from him before he smashes it with Mjolnir, leaving the creature to crash into some water
Lava.
below them.
Lava.
Lava. It's the lava.
Mr. President, I'm being lowered into the lava.
Mr. President told you off the Batman into lava.
Then perish.
He then flies away back to Herc. The Olympian is not doing so well against these two guys, as his power is weakened when he's in Hades, ever since that incident where he got captured and Thor came to rescue him.
Huh.
The Thunder God hurls his mallet at one of the Batmen, allowing Herc...
It's simple. We killed the Batman.
Allowing Hercules to deal with the other, and finally they can continue onward.
Very Dark Knights episode.
One of the Man-Bats gets to Pluto before
No, that's
they
a thing too!
I know! One of them gets back to Pluto before they do, prostrating itself to beg mercy for its failure.
I like Pluto's harem of sexy snake ladies.
Yeah.
He likes Nagia,
Snakes.
and he can't lie.
Pluto is not in the habit of granting clemency, as one might suspect, but also he's too busy to punish his minion right now.
I mean, hey, I've played Hades. He's an asshole.
He stalks off to where Krista is being held, daring her to speak her mind, as apparently she hasn't said a word since her capture.
Traumatized.
You
Also, she doesn't fucking speak Greek!
That's... Asgardians have a magical language that's heard
that's
by everyone in
true.
their native tongue.
Yeah, but do the Greeks?
do the
No.
Greek gods?
I don't think so.
What's the one? That's such a... That's bullshit!
Well, as we were saying, Hercules is a side character, so he doesn't get that much development.
So he also doesn't have the ability to time travel,
No.
and he doesn't have high-energy particles radiating from him.
Sometimes more lore is not better lore.
Well, she opens her mouth, but is seemingly incapable of speech. Pluto is annoyed by this for some reason. Like, what were you expecting her to say? How much she loves being held hostage and
Yes.
is enjoying your generous accommodations.
She was expected to give a 5-star Yelp review.
Maybe something about the skeevy outfit that you put her in.
5-star Yelp review.
Chains.
5-star Yelp review.
I guess it depends on what kind of establishment.
It's true.
As I said, a 5-star Yelp review.
Whatever the case, he waves his hands and the two of them disappear. At last, our heroes stand on the precipice of Pluto's inner sanctum, with only a wide chasm in their path. As he's been relying entirely too much on Thor's abilities this entire journey, Hercules chivalrously rips up a giant stalagmite and uses it to create a makeshift bridge.
I'm sorry, this fucking chasm is like 2 feet across.
It really is.
Well, that's just because Jerry said it was, said it.
And then John was like, it would be funnier though?
if it was so small that they could hop it themselves.
They cross over, prepared to put an end to this sordid affair.
Look at the size of that abyss! Look at that massive abyss!
How could they make it?
How could they have possibly hopped it?
Thor make it over that?
How could they have hopped across without Thor's hammer?
Oh shit, the Snadies are mad!
They cross over, prepared to put an end to this sordid affair, only to be greeted by a couple of
Snadies.
Gorgons?
Snadies.
Lamia?
No, the
Lamia.
Gorgons have it with the hair.
I
Yeah,
think these
well-
are Lamia.
Is that a Greek thing?
I don't know if that's a Greek thing, but I think...
See, I was thinking Naga, but Naga are like a Hindu Buddhist
yeah,
thing.
exactly.
The only snake ladies in Greek mythology that I can think of are
The Gorgons.
Gorgons, and
Lamia.
these are not them. So,
Maybe this is just Pluto's kink. Man, maybe he
For
just
those of
likes
you-
the snakes.
I mean, they are... Lamia are Greek.
okay, maybe they're Lamia.
Alright,
then.
shit, fuck.
And,
Hell yeah. Are they purple?
I don't think they're purple. But, I mean,
So-
if you want faster, you're going to need to load it somewhere other than this
What?
ancient tablet.
We're on YouTube exclusively now, but for anyone who's not paying attention, The Snadies are indeed purple women who are snakes from the waist down.
Hot.
Lamia. This one, the Lamia on Wikipedia has an ass.
Mm-hmm.
Like cheeks and everything.
Snug. Snake butt.
Snake butt.
Snooty.
Though sometimes they depict a Lamia that go all the way up.
Oh, well, some of that's just like a dress on top of.
Yeah. Anyway, it looks like 3 of them leap out, but only 2 actually do anything. Each picking a man to squeeze on by wrapping her coils around him anaconda style.
Oh wow, they're sex demons.
That makes sense. That does make sense.
Like straight up just, sex demons.
You know, your run-of-the-mill sex demons.
I mean, doesn't look like they started out that way, but,
I mean, they're in Pluto's fucking harem, so...
Thor quickly deals with this by creating a whirlwind to trap his attacker, then frees Hercules by bouncing Mjolnir off the other one's skull.
Good job, Herc. You really did a lot.
He's weakened. He then throws the hammer and it just kind of sweeps them all up and throws them over a cliff. So, bye Snadies.
Bye Snadies.
With that taken care of, the boys proceed to Pluto's lair, only to find it empty. Realizing that the snake women were a distraction while Pluto slipped out the back way, Thor decides to take them both back to Asgard and asks Heimdall to use his special eyes. Ha ha ha, JK, they're asking Odin.
Oh my god.
Come on!
They even walked right past Heimdall!
Yup.
We have even said by Heimdall's eyes!
Yup.
He's right there!
Okay,
right
maybe
there.
this is some ass kissing with Dad since he's been watching on the fucking Royal Flat
True.
Screen.
Oh, the second
It's
Royal
always
Flat
ass
Screen.
kissing.
The
with Dad.
second Royal Flat Screen.
Because Thor got so mad that he broke the first
put a
one.
fist through the first one.
So what? Did he have Seth go to the
Go to
Asgard?
Asgardian Mall. He went to the Asgardian
He went to
Mall.
Asgardian Best Buy.
The
to pick up...
Asgardian shopping mall. That's a thing.
It is, actually.
Oh no!
That's
a Stan creation.
It was a Stan creation. It was like an offhand mention in
Oh
An annual.
no!
an annual, yeah.
Completely forgot.
As they're walking, they have a fun conversation about the differences between Asgard and Olympus. But the two look basically the same to me in this era because the artists don't bother to research what things should look like.
I want Asgard to look Norsier.
I do too.
I mean, I'm torn
I've always
because
wanted that.
I'm torn because I like the Golden City. That's really kind of cool, but I would like it to be Norsier.
It could still be gold. If it was Norsier, it could just be made of gold.
Yeah.
On their way in, they meet Odin's guards, swiftly dispatching them, just as Hildy did on a prior occasion.
Why? Why did they need to do this?
They even make some jokes about how useless guards are.
God.
Which makes me feel like someone pointed out to Jerry how funny it is that they got bodied last time. Despite having told Sif and Hildegard just last issue that he trusted Thor and thought there was something afoot, Odin starts yelling as soon as his son enters the throne room,
No, that tracks.
accusing him of being a traitor and bringing an enemy into their home.
You know what's funny? They've been watching on the second Royal Flat Screen that this was happening. So
Yeah.
they know.
There were commercials, and then Odin had to change the channel for a while because he couldn't just watch through 30 fucking seconds of commercials.
I don't know.
And then he tuned back in and he missed
Are
important shit.
Are you sure he didn't put on the game and watch for 5 minutes and then lost all the stuff, missed out on all the stuff that happened in Hell?
I mean, either of these options seem entirely possible.
The commercials went on. He changed channel. Turns out the game was on.
Had to wait for the play to finish.
Yeah.
Luckily, Thor manages to get a word in before he can get to the divine retribution and punishment portion of the speech.
You're banished, also I'm taking half and or all of your powers.
He explains the situation with Ares and Pluto, and the Allfather apologizes for jumping to conclusions.
What?
He does.
Maybe he has gone to therapy.
Then turns on...
A flashlight.
No, that's his rod. He turns on the Royal Flat Screen to show everybody where Pluto is now. He's in Manhattan for some reason.
Wow!
Because that's just where everybody is all the time. Odin sends Herc and Thor away, and Sif says nothing but is sad because she's a woman.
God. We can't bring... So we're not bringing Sif and Hildegard. No.
Yeah, even though it's Hildegard's fucking sister.
Right. The two gods appear in a flash, startling some pedestrians.
Wow, y'all could have caused a traffic incident.
They've been delivered to the exact right place, as Pluto is just there, standing on a rooftop.
Menacingly.
The death god talks some shit before making a spear out of fire, which he throws at Hercules, and it paralyzes him?
Huh.
I don't know.
Why?
I don't know, man. It's a bit convoluted, but this is Thor's book, and by God, he's gonna be the one to fight all the baddies.
Yep.
Except for the baddie who currently just got...
No, he did fight him twice.
And he fought him, that's true.
The Odinson throws Mjolnir to intercept the second flame spear meant to incapacitate him as well, then flies up to meet his foe. This time Pluto makes a sword out of fire, and the two start fighting.
So why did Pluto choose not to have this fight on his own fucking turf?
I don't know. I don't know. There's no explanation.
Because this is a better backdrop?
Unfortunately, in the third
To
part,
get them
this
back to
story
Earth.
is starting to flag.
It seems like Plutz is getting the upper hand for a moment, harrying the Thunder God, until finally Thor strikes back with a burst of power.
Spat boom!
Boom!
He is also in the midst of recounting his plan to kidnap Krista and drive Odin to attack Olympus, starting a war between the pantheons.
You know what Thor should have said? Don't fucking change the channel this time, Dad!
Thor declares that such a plot would never have worked, but Pluto questions this proclamation. Why did Odin send him to Olympus? Why did Thor immediately go to fight Hercules without even bothering to ask him about it? In truth, the plan worked better than the Odinson would care to admit, and in doing so, he has shown that he is quick-tempered and untrusting of those he calls friends.
Well, yeah, but Odin didn't send the whole Warriors 3 and everybody else.
Yeah, but that doesn't support the argument that Pluto's making.
I know, but Thor was never in debate, so...
The two gods begin to struggle towards the edge of the rooftop, where Thor manages to flip his opponent over the precipice and into a neon sign, which electrocutes him.
Oh.
Is that supposed to hurt?
Pluto disappears in a flash, retreating to his underworld kingdom, and
is
so
vaporized.
And so
dead, never to be seen again.
Releasing Hercules from his spell. And thus the day is saved. But all is not well. Krista is unconscious, her breathing's shallow and labored. She is dying of some unknown malady, perhaps by something that Pluto did, or maybe just shock from her ordeal. Either way, she needs medical care, and Thor knows just the man for the job.
Dr. Blake.
I actually really like this face.
Yeah, I really do. I've been waiting the whole time for the page to end to be like, John, killing it again.
Mm-hmm.
Although, it's pretty obvious that Buscema and...
The inker here is also really needs some credit.
Like, it's obvious they're not really talking...
Mike Esposito.
Yeah.
It's obvious that John and Jerry aren't talking about all this stuff.
Yeah.
Though,
I mean, it takes a good inker to render the pretty delicate lines.
But I wouldn't be surprised if our inker and our liner are having a good conversation.
So what'd you guys think of that one?
It is weaker than the other two?
Yeah.
3 stars.
Jerry's not good at landing stuff.
Nah.
But I see, but he put it on Earth, so we'd have an excuse to bring out
I'm so glad
Donald
we're
Blake.
on fucking
Yes.
Earth.
Also, but I'm also worried because at the bottom of the page it says, no one can stop the Destroyer.
Yep.
And that's never... The Destroyer has not had a good track record.
Well, the Destroyer's his old friend.
Yes, that's what that is. A friend. So yeah, 3.
Okay.
What about you?
Me?
Yeah.
3.
What does CMRO think?
Oh, these were all like 3s across the board.
Lame.
Alright, well, since we've got you here in the middle part, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, hit the bell. That'd all be pretty awesome. Talk to us down below about whatever's happening. Talk to us down below about your expertise on Greek and Roman columns.
Tell us how your day is.
Tell us how your day is. Yeah, I like that. Tell us how your day is. We would love that. We're on social media over on Tumblr, Twitter, Facebook, and occasionally Instagram.
Technically. But
theoretically.
But not Threads, as far as I know.
Not so far as I know, man.
No.
Because, I mean, it is connected
Sorry,
to Instagram.
did you say Twitter? I think you meant X.
Oh, Jitter, I forgot. Jitter.
Jitter. You gotta kind of j that.
Yeah, so follow us on Tumblr.
Jitter, like Xi Jinping.
Yes. Jitter.
Jitter.
Good
Derek
job.
Jeter.
Or over on Derek Jeter.
Yes. The only platform for all Derek Jeter news and content.
You know what? We should get on the Jeremy Renner app.
Oh, yeah, and we would love a Blue Sky invite.
That'd be fun. Probably.
Because now
but
everyone needs a Twitter folder.
Toll.
Because now everyone needs a Twitter folder for all the Twitter apps. Isn't that fun? Isn't that great?
I love it. It's great. Everything's really good and great and awesome and spectacular. Anyway, at least there are more websites now.
Yeah. But are they good websites?
Is this better? I don't think this is better.
You could take screenshots of a different website now, though.
Yeah, and spread them around. So you can also see screenshots. I love seeing screenshots of Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk planning their cage match.
I don't think Elon can fucking do it. I don't think
Elon's gonna. No.
Look, Mark Zuckerberg is going to rip Elon's throat out with his teeth.
Mark Zuckerberg raises animals to slaughter.
I also just saw an article today that Mark Zuckerberg is ready to go, but he says that Elon keeps coming up with excuses.
Of course he does.
Because he knows he's gonna die.
Look at Mark. You look at Zuck. When you look at him, that is a man who knows what death looks like and has caused it many times. He has seen the face of death. And death is a friend.
Smoking those meats.
Elon doesn't even begin to know fear.
Elon is like a decade older.
And in such worse shape.
So much worse. That man looks doughy.
Yeah, he's going to have that Trump body when he gets older.
God. I mean, it's fitting, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not fitting, but... Anyway, yeah. Throw us a few bucks on coffee if you want. That'd be cool. Tell your friend, tell your enemy, tell your neighbor, tell your therapist.
Tell Mark Zuckerberg.
Tell Zucks. Tell the Zuck.
Tell Elon if you really want.
Nah, don't do that.
Not that Zuckerberg is a good human being.
Every time you acknowledge him,
look,
his ego gets a little bigger. So don't tell Elon. Tell Zuck, though. Encourage Zuck to slaughter them.
God, that's a good cover, though. Oh, damn.
We were just wondering amongst ourselves how they got this story and Emma Frost in particular past the comics.
Yeah, that seems... She seems very, underdressed for the comics code and horny for the comics code.
I think the horny is the bigger problem.
Yeah.
Well, I mean... She's literally wearing panties.
Yeah.
I mean, she's quite literally a dominatrix.
Yeah.
Yes, that's it. How does a dominatrix make it past the comics code?
You win the Eagle Award 5 times, I guess.
Well, has it won it yet? Is it won its 5th? Or is it currently at its 4th?
I don't know. That's on the next cover, actually. I'm talking about a thing that we don't actually have going on yet. But, yeah. So, do you want to tell me what happened last time on X-Men?
We met 2 new characters who are equally important to each other.
Yes, definitely equally important. Because, when you finally meet... oh my god, I just forgot her name.
Kitty Pryde.
Yes, her. When you finally meet her, anyone in the world could be just as important as she is.
And everybody knows about Dazzler.
Dazzler. A very important character who comes up a lot. All the time, even. Definitely doesn't show up.
I mean, if we hadn't hit that B story I decided to let pass that one time, we wouldn't know Emma Frost either, and that would be a fucking banger. Though technically she actually was the issue before, just for that brief panel.
Emma Frost just showing up.
Yep.
Wow. Just thinking about that originally...
Here she is.
She just shows up and doesn't...
that's everything. That's everyone in comics, though. They just kind of show up.
I know that, but she makes it through the comic code. Is casually being a dominatrix and...
Love it. I love it.
The comics code doesn't care.
But okay, so what stories did we have?
Oh boy, that's hard.
So the X-Men got home and they found that Professor X was back from space.
Correct.
Yeah. We're on the train, guys.
And he was like, cool, now that I'm back, I'm just gonna take over everything like nothing happened.
And they also left Banshee in Scotland.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
I mean, he's not doing so hot. He still doesn't have his powers back. His
power at this moment is just having a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, which, not a bad power. Gun is always a valid power.
Moira would agree with that.
Yes, Moira. It is also her power. Although, I think bad parenting is another power she possesses.
Yeah. So... Chuck took over, and it wasn't going very well.
No!
Because he was being himself.
Uh-huh.
Because the fact is, we are being reminded why Scott and Chuck...
Some people shouldn't be themselves.
Yeah. Rub against each other bad. They rub each other the wrong way, and, all this time Stan implied that Chuck was kind of bad, but he never actually went and said it. We're saying it.
So, they picked up 2 new powerful mutants on Cerebro, and they split into 2 teams to go find them.
Yeah, yes, 2 new, equally powerful mutants.
Yep.
Definitely of equal power.
Yep, so one of the teams was Scott, Jean, and Kurt, who went to go find Dazzler.
Right.
And the rest of them went to find Kitty Pryde, and Kitty Pryde is a baby.
Mm-hmm.
She is. I didn't expect her to be so baby when we first meet her.
13 and a half.
Isn't she like almost 30 now?
Probably in her mid-20s.
Yeah, I wouldn't say 30. I would say mid-20s.
Yeah.
And her parents are trying to send her away to boarding school.
Because they're getting divorced.
And it's her fault.
Yep.
I mean, I joke, but at least she thinks so.
Mm-hmm.
So, while they were in the process of trying to recruit Kitty, they got attacked by Emma Frost and the Hellfire Club and all got captured.
Well, we missed that Emma was actually there before that.
That's
As
true.
a teacher trying to steal her away.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Emma's also trying to recruit Kitty. So she captured all the X-Men, and they're in go-go dancer cages in their undies, as you do. But Kitty snuck on to the fucking
air car.
That stupid transportation vehicle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kitty snuck onto it and is, like, trying to help them, I guess?
Yes.
Because Storm was nice.
Yes.
Yes, Storm was nice, and Kitty Pryde thinks she can do it. She can definitely do it. She's got this.
Meanwhile, Scott and Jean went to a disco where Jean had a hallucination and then kissed a man. And Scott was like, what the fuck? And then they met Dazzler. And then they escaped.
Because they got attacked.
Because
just like
they got
the other
attacked.
X-Men.
Yep, and then they escaped and they didn't get captured. But they did severely damage the professor's rolls.
But also, Kurt got a call from Kitty, a freaked out Kitty, because Storm had a phone number sewn into her clothes.
Right. If lost, please return to...
To Kurt, apparently.
No, to the professor's car.
So wait, does that mean that the professor wasn't picking up, so it transferred to his car?
Well, he was being attacked by Emma.
Yeah. He's captured by
No,
Emma.
but I'm assuming he has a setup where...
Oh, right, where it'll bounce around, like the fucking thing that the magic jack, where you can forward it to yourself.
But I mean, call forwarding was a thing for a long time, so I'm assuming he just has his calls set up to be forwarded to his car. So I imagine
his numbers.
So I imagine people have been trying to call
all the time, and he just hasn't set up to go to the fucking car.
So his car has been receiving calls for like months because they didn't fix the phone line.
God.
So, yeah, and then B stories also happened.
Correct. 3 of them.
So, yes, I remember this because I had to edit it.
Yes.
One of them, there was a serving girl in the Hellfire Club, and she was like...
She hated the job.
She was like, this place sucks, and Emma was like, fuck you. And then
we are the best thing because we control them.
We are terrible people.
Yep, and then the serving girl was like, you suck too. And that was the end of it.
Yep.
But, I mean, Emma did go on a whole
she did
rant about
go
how...
the girl boss gospel.
Oh, yeah, the girl... She is made of girl boss. She is pure, unrefined...
Gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss.
Absolutely, 100,000%.
Hey, she uses the other two, but she is made of girl boss.
And then the second one was Moira was sad about her son being dead.
Well, that was the third one, actually, but
what?
yes.
Oh.
You said you remember them because you edited it, and you
all
skipped one.
No, I remember them. I just didn't
order.
remember the order.
Ooh.
Yep, okay.
Okay, so fine. The second one was Kitty having a dream.
Oh, yeah! That was...
a dream that was dumb.
Yes. The third one was a much more solid story.
And Kitty had a dream, and then she decided to be brave.
Whereas, Moira, wasn't she trying to make another...
She was about to clone her son, yes.
Yeah, and...
she wasn't going to clone him. She was going
to give him a new body.
Reincorporate him.
Yes, exactly.
And then Banshee was like, that's a bad idea.
Don't do that. And maybe don't do that. That's a bad idea. And
she didn't.
Yep.
I get, there's something that's been bugging me. In the distant future. Just I was reading some, comics of modern vintage, and someone mentioned, started listing off people who might be able to save the world, who defend the world.
That's a whole different thing, actually. So.
And I'm just saying, Moira McTaggart's name was in that list.
Yeah.
So
that's a whole different thing.
She's a badass bitch, and she has lots of guns. That's all we need to know.
I'm starting to wonder
She's going to defend the Earth with her AK.
Yes.
I'm starting to wonder, because, as far as I know, she's just a lady who is bad at being a mother.
Correct.
And her power is gun.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and? What's your point?
I am afraid, because...
Well, you've got to live with that fear for quite a while, so I'd not internalize it if I were you.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Don't internalize a lurking fear that...
Don't worry about it. Don't fucking worry about it. It's not relevant.
It's fine, actually.
You pretty much got that the whole way through, apart from the few little things.
A few little things. I'm sure they'll be real small.
First off, for the X-Men, we have X-Men 131 from December of 1979, on the cusp of a new decade.
Ooh.
Written by Chris Claremont, penciled by John Byrne, inked by Terry Austin, colored by Glynis Wein, and lettered by Tom Orzechowski.
Do we know who did the cover?
Ripley never says.
Ripley never says because the covers change later, so I didn't want to start a precedent.
No, that's fair. I really like this cover. We've had some bad covers.
This is John and Terry.
Nice!
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the time you'll find it's the crew of the book, but sometimes it's not.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, we're in the era of sometimes it's not. How...
Yes, we are.
I mean, in our, 72 Thor stuff?
Yep.
We have a terrible guest.
Gil Kane.
Yeah,
Gil Kane's been doing them for a while on Thor.
Yeah,
actually.
he's an older guy.
But he's definitely either he was never good, or he's lost a step.
The style's moved on.
That's true. That would track because this cover's great. It's extremely dynamic. I love the
expression on her face. Is just manic.
Her menacing mania is just.
It's fucking great.
And since I know her, know her well.
I love Emma.
It's perfect for her.
I love Emma. Well, this is one of the fastest services we've got on the line. We've cut through the mountains for not only time-saving purposes, but a gorgeous view for the short time we've got it. Soon we're going to be cutting back away from the shoreline after we head down into town. We're making really good time through here. Let me go get a new ETA. I'm going to be right back with you.
Did we just cut through the mountains with the train that had no rails through the mountains?
No, it had rails through the mountains. It was just having we just had to check a few mechanical things. It's fine. Everything's fine.
How are you?
Fucking nerds! Not to keep talking about the cover, but the thing I appreciate about this cover is the way that the different sections intersect.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Like the way that they're underneath her cape, but over top of her body.
Well, it also works really well with like where the shadow of where her cape is where Kurt is, and that's really nicely done.
It's a great cover. This run, so good.
Shockingly, Emma's order to lock the doors did not keep 13-year-old Kitty Pryde in the facility.
No shit.
What? You mean the girl who can go through walls can still go through walls when the door's locked?
Shocking.
Emma, I thought you were a bad bitch. I guess you're not a bad enough bitch
I can't believe it. You just hate to see a bad bitch winning. You literally do.
She's not winning, though.
True, fair.
Yeah,
Good
Chris, you hate to see a bad bitch winning. Even when you're writing her.
God, it is killing me how Jean and Storm don't have noses.
Not great. Not ideal.
They have nostrils.
Women don't have noses. You heard it here, folks.
They got nostrils, but not noses.
Well, she got out, but that doesn't mean she's out of trouble yet. Some of the Hellfire goons are in hot pursuit, chasing the kid down an alley in a dark sedan. Unfortunately, her ridiculous 70s platform sandals prove to be her undoing.
Oh my god, they are!
And Kitty takes a tumble. Just when everything seems to be all up for Kitty, the Phoenix suddenly drops down in the alley, where the goons decide they're just gonna hit her with the car, but that doesn't really work out so
they
hot.
do hit her with the car. They very much do hit her with the car.
And
but
she hits back.
She psychically shields herself, and a goon goes through. The car just
kind of goes around her.
And that's why you wear your seatbelt.
And a goon
folks.
who wasn't wearing a seatbelt literally goes through the window.
The other guy did, though, so, he knows what's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, only one of them wasn't wearing their seatbelt, so...
No, it kind of looks like the other guy flew into the back seat.
It kind of does.
Jean?
Maybe that's the problem, is he was, way steering from the back seat.
No, I know what happened.
No, they had someone in the back seat here, too.
Oh.
What the fuck? Why is there someone in the back seat?
Who's in the back seat?
I don't know.
Well, that person's wearing their seatbelt, that's what.
The motherfucker who
kicking
buckled.
in the front seat, kicking in the back seat.
Maybe we've got this perspective wrong, and this guy is actually in the back seat.
Yeah.
That's not how it looks, though.
No.
Kitty's just a scared kid.
And now she watched someone go through a windshield as their car got crunched.
She's overwhelmed and unsure of what to do. But Nightcrawler doesn't leave the opportunity for her paralysis to stick, porting down by her before springing up along the wall with Kitty strung over his shoulder.
You know what impresses me the most about this? How much of a child she looks like compared to the X-Men.
Right, she looks like a baby.
She
It's
actually looks like a child.
Good art.
And I'm not gonna lie, Marvel has a problem doing that now.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the fact that they were able to do that then, I gotta give so much credit.
This is a legendary run for a reason.
Yeah.
Down below, Dazzler and Cyclops catch up with Phoenix. That thing with the car, yeah, she wasn't supposed to do that.
Jean, that kills people.
She was just kind of supposed to stop the car.
Look at him.
Look at this fucking guy in the pile of
dead.
twisted metal.
He is so dead.
He's not, he's actually fine.
He's fine, actually.
He's fine.
He's totally fine. He's just resting.
He literally is fine, though.
Oh, no.
That doesn't seem right.
I don't believe... this is just like when I play Marvel Spider-Man and I kick people off of
Maybe
roofs.
Jean just fixed it then.
Oh, God, she probably could.
She probably could. But Scott can't get the kind of fear Kitty was in at the moment. Whereas a telepath, yeah.
I mean, I
I
don't
think
even...
he kind of could, though, because I think he's been in a close-ish
I mean,
situation.
I don't even think Jean was unwarranted for that level of violence, considering...
Considering they were going to hit her with a fucking car.
Yeah!
Not to derail, but Jean is hot.
Jean is hot.
Yeah.
I love powerful women. I love redheads. I am a redhead. So I have to love redheads.
Oh, no, Phoenix is hot.
She's hot.
You heard it here, folks.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, we're the first
people
to ever say that.
New take.
New original spicy hot steaming right off the grill take.
Nobody since 1979 has ever said that Phoenix is hot.
Nobody since 1963 has said that Jean Grey is hot.
God.
Not even Scott.
It's amazing.
But I mean, that's because Scott is awkward.
But after, Jean isn't sorry.
But I mean, they were gonna hit her with a car.
Exactly.
I don't.
Fuck that.
You live by the car, you die by the car.
After hearing a call from Kurt up on the rooftop, Phoenix scoops Psyche and Dazzler to bring up with her because she's a bisexual queen. It seems that shortly after being brought up here, Kitty phased away again through the roof, and now Kurt needs their help to find her. Given Jane's got a telepathic lock, she's not going to have any problem doing that, so Scott sends her in alone. I like his argument that she's the most normal looking of them. Like, does he think Dazzler's face is just like that?
I mean,
could be.
You've seen Hank.
Right. You've seen Kurt.
I mean, you could ask.
You could
just ask people if their face is like that.
Hey, so Dazzler, is your face like that?
Yeah, after I said it, I was like, okay, whatever.
Look, it took him like a month to get the phone on, to make a phone call, because he felt uncomfortable. There's no way he could just ask,
Fair.
Is your face like that?
Did he just look like that?
On the alternative, he might not realize how bad that sounds.
Jean descends the stairs, quick changing into some street clothes. It doesn't take a long search to find Kitty, even with her best efforts to be as silent as possible.
I don't think you're going to be able to hide from
the
Jean
Phoenix,
Grey.
Yeah. Finally, Pride has the opportunity to break down, clinging tightly to Jean, sobbing in relief.
God, she's so small.
She's a baby.
I know, they did such a good job of that.
She's such a baby. Back at the X-Men's air car, as Scott tends to Kitty's wounds, she gives the group the story so far, or as much of it as she knows. But the rest of that's easy to handle anyway, with a little help from some of the other members of the assembled group. At Summer's prompting, Jean delves into the mind of one of the captured Hellfire goons, pulling out the context for Kitty's story. Her mind follows down the thread from Emma Frost to the Hellfire Club, boggling over what all it meant. The Hellfire Club that her ancestor joined so long ago by marriage to Jason Wingard? Wason Jingard?
Wason Jingard.
But now, too, she knows a Jason Wingard who looks just like the man. But she does pass along the goons' information to Scott, and they begin to formulate a plan.
Keeping secrets.
It's been a long night, and here at its close, a car pulls up to the main gate of Frost Enterprises.
Wow.
Another of the Hellfire goons is manning the gate. Is this just like dress code at her company?
I mean, look at her. Yes. Yes, it is.
It's gotta be weird if you're a supplier or something. Then again, you're right. She probably does business in her underwear, too.
God.
So this is just part of the Frost Enterprises experience.
At the very least, this is what the guards look like.
When he comes to the car, the guard sees one of his fellows with all three of the missing X-Men bound... Four, you're right. I said it wrong. With all four of the... I wrote it wrong.
Well, 3 plus Dazzler.
Yeah.
Dazzler's not an X-Men.
With all 3.5 of the missing X-Men bound, gagged, and unconscious on the back seat. Still no Kitty, though. She's a sly one.
Yeah, we did great, though. Look at these. Look at all of them. So good.
I'm really impressed that Elton here recognizes his bud under the mask.
Well, they must, right?
I guess maybe this is just like his personal car. It's like, oh, that's Sal's car.
Yeah. I mean, you can't tell who anyone is under those masks, but I'd know that car anywhere.
Elton passes Sally and co. through the door, passing along the good news to the rest of the guards. the White Queen isn't quite sure she believes that.
Wow.
Though things seem normal enough, she signals for some more guards when the car stops, just to be sure.
Yeah, you're not being horny at all, are you, Chris?
She can't attend to that right now, seeing as she's got Storm tied up on the St. Andrew's cross, and she'd be breaking some important bondage safety rules if she just left her tied to the ring.
Definitely not being horny here, Chris. There's nothing horny happening at all, I promise.
She then turns her attention back to her prisoner, delving back into Aurora's mind once more. Elsewhere in the facility, Kitty slips back through the walls, finding her way to the holding cells where she'd last seen the X-Men.
God, Emma, you are so not prepared for Kitty Pryde.
They haven't been moved, apart from Storm, and so she conquers her fears, sneaking across the room and reaching inside one of the locks to try and manipulate it. Before she pokes around at all, it just springs wide open.
Uh-oh.
And she then helps Logan out of his cage, trying to explain what's going on while his head clears. She doesn't get to finish her story, though, because the door opens, one of the Hellfire goons blasting Kitty in the back with his stun gun.
Oh, they made a mistake.
They made a big mistake. Wolverine catches her as she falls, and then responds to the goon's threats to turn his gun on him with a promise of his own.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's about to murder a couple
He's about to murder a guy or two.
God, he's so hairy.
He's so hairy, I'm so glad. He's quite hirsute.
They
Fucking Bigfoot-looking ass.
No wonder he's a cryptid.
No wonder that one guy tried to shoot at him.
He thought he saw Bigfoot. What do you want?
Out front, Sally's car slows to a stop. The goons there aren't quite ready to deal with his passengers yet. Backup hasn't arrived, and they're in cover-your-ass mode, because you know how well the Hellfire Club tolerates failure.
Yeah, they're the, kill the failure kind of people.
Yep. But it's clear to the X-Men inside that this is as far as their ruse is going to take them. So now it's time for a bang flash. As in, Scott blasts out the roof of the car and Dazzler gives the guards the business.
Okay, you did say that.
And not a flash bang.
Yeah, I got it. They're dazzled.
They're dazzled.
She's so effective.
She has her fucking roller skates on.
Fuck yes!
From the moment she jumped out of the car, this is the first time she's ever had roller skates.
Wow.
She's gonna go down to the roller rink with Tony.
She has the ultimate Heelys.
I think this time around she kind of hypnotizes them more than, like, completely sensory destroys them and gives them, like, seizures and shit.
What? I mean, she give them seizures. Why not?
So I think she just kind of hypnotized them because they just seem kind of dazed.
I don't know. Who cares about these guys? Give them seizures. Who cares?
If I'm following this correctly, that's what I think's happening.
Hey, this is just a job.
Yeah,
They're
but
just goons.
it's the kind of job where you run over a child with a car.
True.
Fuck these guys.
As the X-Men begin to penetrate the facility, someone manages to sound off an alarm. Frost orders the Hellfire Guards to take care of the situation, while she makes sure the X-Men, at least good and well, pay for it, planning to completely break Aurora's mind before her friends can rescue her.
Oh boy.
Bad plan to narrate that out loud because Storm's girlfriend is here and she's pissed!
Oh god, she's horrifying, Jesus Christ.
Hell yes, she's so hot! That just makes her hotter.
Meanwhile, with the intruding X-Men, Kurt is having fun.
Why you gotta pit two bad bitches against each other?
Well, either way, a bad bitch wins.
True.
While the guards have their guns fixed on Psyche and Dazzler, Kurt bamps from goon to goon, knocking them all down before the first even hits the ground. Just as the room is cleared, another group enters from a nearby doorway. Piotr carrying Kitty in his arms, while Wolverine leads the way. She's mostly recovered now. But the Hellfire Guard who tries to rectify that situation, again, probably should not have announced his intentions aloud.
Cyclops, did you just murder a guy?
Kitty is about to get so many parents.
Yes.
Kitty is about to get so many parents. What the fuck was I gonna say? I lost my place. Yeah, probably a bad idea to announce that out loud that he was gonna shoot Kitty. Strange workplace culture here at Frost Enterprise.
Yeah.
You sometimes just have some kind of automatic weapon-looking thing.
Before the guard gets to the opportunity
It is a weapon of some sort.
Before the guard gets the opportunity to make good on his threat, Pyotr gives him a dose of Russian steel. Kitty is very impressed.
Oh no, Pyotr, did you kill that guy? He's feeling ashamed.
Apparently the professor is somewhere, and that's all we know about it.
I think he might have killed that man.
Maybe,
I mean, we didn't even see his head off screen. I think he crunched the guy's skull in.
Probably.
Well, Kitty's pretty impressed.
Kitty, no! Do not be impressed by ultraviolence.
But now the whole bunch can follow Logan's nose to Aurora, where they'll hopefully catch up with Phoenix.
Follow Logan's nose wherever it goes. To a bowl of Fruit Loops.
Aurora,
I feel like I've made that joke before.
I don't know if you'd have.
I don't think so.
I don't know, it feels familiar though.
Aurora has a hell of a show to
thief.
watch, as the Phoenix first plays with her food,
Uh-huh.
and then devours it, battering through the White Queen's defenses.
Wow.
Emma sinks all of her reserves into one immense psi blast, and just as the X-Men have the building in sight, it explodes.
Whoopsie!
Cyclops sprints across the square, calling for the guys to follow. Scott mentally calls out for Jean through their bond as he tears at the rubble, desperate to find her alive.
Well, yeah, he's already had to deal with her dying once.
Yeah.
If he'd have just waited a second, he wouldn't have had to do even that, as the Firebird of the Phoenix erupts from the debris, revealing both Jean and Aurora safe and sound. Well, safe.
And Emma is dead, never to be seen again.
Oh, these two panels are cool.
Oh, they
Yeah,
are.
right, how they keep in the same position nearly with a few little shifts. It's fun. I liked that a lot. That's when the professor decides to show up again, because he was very serious about just seeing how the X-Men worked as a team. And the bunch shortly find their way back across town to the Pride family home. Chuck gives Dazzler the offer to join the X-Men, but she's just not about that kind of life. And so Scott has Kurt give her a lift to the airport and a ticket back to New York.
I didn't realize she turned... I mean, I know she's not important, but I didn't know it's because she said no.
Dazzler will return in Avengers Infinity War. Let's see. And that just leaves Kitty,
Who also turns them down and gets a ride to the airport.
The Prides are not happy right now.
Oof.
Carmen in particular is raving mad. Charles' students head off with his daughter, and then the next thing he knows, the malt shop they went to is burnt down, and everyone involved has disappeared. And then, all of a sudden, he goes funny, enthusiastically shaking Charles' hand and wanting to discuss the school further.
Jean?
Yeah, this time Charles is also surprised by this because he was not the one who did that.
Jean, you're learning the wrong lessons.
Well, what's her teacher?
Yeah.
Mr. Mindwipe over there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's be real. He was going to.
Probably. Jane explains to a displeased Scott that it had to be done, and she'd just tweak their memories the slightest bit.
But yeah, she just did what comes naturally.
Well, she's also...
She's
kind of a little fucked up
can she
in the
be?
head.
She's just doing what comes naturally.
No.
You fucking brought me to this door.
She said it. She said it.
As the Prides usher everyone inside for brunch, Scott and Aurora remain outside, and it's like, Scott, there's trouble in the polycule. Yeah, I know, that's not like Jean at all. How is she doing in that fight with the White Queen? Honestly, hot, but scary. So it's like, yeah, I know. Maybe it's fine. It's not fine. You don't even think that, so don't say it. Something's wrong with Jean.
Just the way Aurora and Scott
They have a really good rapport.
are arm in arm like that.
There's a reason people ship these two.
Yes. They ship everyone in this.
I mean,
fucking-
yeah,
Of course
but
they do.
specifically Scott and
No.
Storm.
Yes, they do.
I mean,
They have a cool-headed approach, both of them, kind of.
You wouldn't be shocked if they were a thing. Look at them together like that.
So, how would you rate that?
4.
Sure, 4.5.
I'm at a 5. I'm enjoying myself pretty thoroughly now.
I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah, I just don't know where... I guess I expected that to go further?
Well, we've still got one more story ahead. How do you think Samaro rated it?
4.
4.5?
You're pretty dead on. 4.49.
Oh!
That's just like when you said 3.2, 3.02, and it was 3.3.
Next up is the B story from Classic X-Men 37, written by Fabian Fubal Nicieza,
That is a cover.
penciled by Rick Leonardi, inked by Bob McLeod, colored by Mike Rockwitz, and lettered by Joe Rosen.
That's a cover from the future.
I believe that is pronounced McLeod.
Perhaps. I've heard McLeod, actually.
Really?
McLeod?
Yeah, I've heard it both ways.
Really?
It may just be some weird way someone Americanized it at some point for their name.
I hadn't thought of that.
Anyway, it's colored by Mike Rockwitz and lettered by Joe Rosen. One new name here from Rick Leonardi. What's his story? Well, Wikipedia, for one, wants to make sure you know that in all of his lengthy publishing history, he worked on the 3rd issue of the tie-in comic for Superman Returns, so big dick swinging, watch out, he's coming through!
The 3rd issue of the tie-in comic of Superman Returns, a movie that failed to achieve its goals.
Also, Star Wars General Grievous.
Great.
Woo!
For another this
storied
man
history.
looks like a dad who just got told bad news at a parent-teacher conference.
Yeah. You didn't have any better pictures of the man?
That's just the one I found. I'm sure there's more. He's known for being one of the co-creators of Spider-Man's black suit, actually, which lore-wise is a whole other story we're not going to be disappearing into.
Yeah, I mean, and we could disappear into it.
We could.
God.
We're also going to run into his first published work later, With You.
Yay.
Hey, that could be great or terrible. We'll find out.
The anatomy on this is both bad and good.
Yeah, it dawned on me. This is the classic
Emma's
X-Men.
kind of a mess, but Jean is looking pretty fine.
I'm not really sure.
She's got ribs and everything.
She's very stretched out.
She needs wider hips, actually.
I am not sure what's going on with Emma's breasts over there. They are...
Well, they are being pulled apart, I guess.
They are
I don't know.
breasting boobily, all right.
They are.
Lift and separate?
In that thing? That's
Probably
specifically designed to not
do that.
separate.
Yeah. This is cool.
Whoa.
Getting a little...
Whoa.
Wow,
What the...
Steve Lytle did that for us.
Oh, wow. I mean, I'm not sure
That's really cool,
I'm on
Steve.
board with this cover, but this front piece... Ooh, that's a style.
You can ring my bell.
Copyright claimed.
Dazzler belts out Anita Ward's disco hit at the end of a week of small gigs.
That's how you get a copyright claim.
I'm sorry I'm too good. I don't know what to tell you. Barring one day off, Alison Blair closes out her set. Once the show's over, she's in a hurry.
Oh yeah, she has like a normal name.
Yeah, and maybe a normal face.
Once the show's over, she's in a hurry. Oh, I said that. Made late by her backup band's choice to add a drum solo to one of the disco jams.
That's odd.
That does indeed sound like a choice. I'm kind of curious what Mickey's getting at here.
I want to know what that sounded like.
Right? I'm into that. I want to hear it. Come on, Mickey.
I'm not into it, but I'm curious.
I'm into it. I want to hear it. So to deal with her predicament, Allie straps on her skates and grabs onto the tail fin of a passing classic caddy.
Okay, Marty McFly.
So, hang on. So it appears that... she actually does have roller skates. Okay, I was really confused for a second.
You thought they were like Heelys?
No, it looked like she was attaching the wheels to her shoes, but they were fucking high heels. So I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
So when is this particular story from?
1980. I didn't write it on this.
Because I can't help it.
1989.
So we really are stealing from Back to the Future. Okay.
Correct. Correctamundo. The passengers of the convertible are in good spirits about it, one of them even holding out a brewski if she wants it. Dazzler does not indeed want it, and instead flashbangs the intoxicated passengers of a moving vehicle because that'll show them.
You know what? It's probably a good thing she didn't join the X-Men. Like, I know Wolverine kills people, but at least he's, like, you know...
responsible about it.
She did this to make them stop drinking.
And it's probably going to murder them. And at least when Wolverine's doing it, he's usually been doing it as a government actor.
Or intentionally,
He's been an intentional killer who historically has been a state actor.
He's also not, like, super irresponsible about how he kills people either.
Yeah, whereas...
This endangers any number of people.
I mean, that Cadillac is going to go right through a building.
It's going to go right through a building, and that thing doesn't have any crumple zones either.
Yeah. No, it's got 4 of them. That's what those people are. What do you think? What do you think they are?
They then immediately yeet their beers into the air, and Allison continues skating on an on-ramp, opting to skate along the vehicle deck of the Brooklyn Bridge rather than the pedestrian walkway for reasons.
Yeah.
Because we really like Back to the Future.
She then gives us a tour of Manhattan, skating like a madwoman through Washington Square Park.
Hey, wait, I saw the Twin Towers.
Happens. The Twin Towers will return in Avengers Infinity War. And she finally reaches her destination, a little diner.
God, it's so good we're not doing...
The Nighthawk?
The Nighthawk.
It just occurred to me, it's really good
That's a dude.
It is.
It's just good that we're not doing Spider-Man, because if we were, we would have to go through the 9/11 issue.
Oh, God. I could still. Magneto's in it.
Oh, God, he is! You could!
Magneto can't melt steel beams.
Yeah, but I could probably shake him down.
Yeah.
Magneto did 9/11.
Fuck. She's now an hour late and apparently breaking the dress code of the place.
The dress code? You mean these diners have dress codes?
Well, yes, because the waiter will not serve her until she wipes off her makeup.
Oh, that's makeup! I
Right.
thought that was just how her face looked.
You and Scott both, apparently.
Hey, some people have weird faces. Look at Kurt and Hank.
I mean, fair. What's next? The topic of discussion seems to be Billy Joel's We Didn't Start the Fire, and if any of you fucking homestucks open your mouths, you'll face my blade.
I mean, I was about to just go back to, other weird things like, oh God, what's-her-face's green hair?
Oh, Lorna and her curse of green hair?
Yeah, her mutant power of green hair. Sometimes you just look weird.
But as the night wears on, the conversation wanders from here to there, seeming to settle on the group's various issues with their parents for a brief bit.
Fun. Yeah, that's always, a good time.
Next up on the docket comes social responsibility. First they're discussing donating to the homeless, and then one of her friends raises the question whether Allie has an obligation to join the Avengers to help others. And she's like, cool it, I make a sparkly light show, bro, I'm not a superhero.
Do you think they'd take her?
That's pretty much where she's at with it.
I don't think Tony's usually that low on the manpower.
Anyway, with mediocre power doesn't come great responsibility so long as you're not a tool.
Right.
So don't... okay, so if you have mediocre power, you can endanger lives. Intentionally.
Well, you have less power to do so. But not none. They then clear the dishes for the waiter, who is, frankly, a terrible fucking waiter.
Yeah.
Wow.
As the night moves on, the conversation begins to fade. And in a tone I imagine equivalent to, so how about those Yankees? Allie sparks things back to life with, what about that Reagan? What indeed, Dazzy Pooh? What indeed?
Yeah, let's talk about Ronald Reagan. Oh, boy.
If we talk about Ronald Reagan, we'll be here all fucking day.
Yeah.
But what about that Reagan? Insert Reagan brain boomer horse shit here, and let's move on. Hat Girl, if she had superheroes, would be a super anarchist. then none of this matters is the problem. Nothing matters, it's just people talking, and they're mostly talking stupidly. So, like, it's a problem. Anyway, Hat Girl would be a super anarchist. Andy would make blind people able to see for a day, and all sighted people blind for a day. We don't hear about the other guy. And Dazzler's like, well, all night we've been talking about personal choices, and I choose not to be a superhero. Later, skaters.
Yes. And she will commit to this forever.
For quite a while, indeed, actually.
Wow, really?
For a decent chunk, mostly. She doesn't stay in X-Men, she does fuck around from time
I
to
know
time.
I've encountered her elsewhere, and she's definitely not been on the most heroic of fronts, but...
No. How would you rate that?
2?
Yeah,
it was real nothing burger.
It was entirely a nothing burger. It's just bread.
Yeah.
And part of the problem is, it's bread that's even kind of bland on its own, because...
It's white bread.
The fact is, she's not that interesting.
I'm with you, too.
I'm sorry, Dazzler could have been interesting, but she...
Well, maybe she still can be.
Maybe someone is going to...
Maybe we'll run into a run that you didn't even know Dazzler was awesome in.
I also did not care for the art. Like, I'm sure it's the kind of art that some people would appreciate. I didn't like it.
I thought it looked okay.
It was alright in places and bad in others. How do you think CMRO rated it?
4.5.
Oh, nope. They're right with us, too,
That's-
on the dot.
Wow.
We nailed it.
Hammered that one home.
Next up, we take a step into the new decade with X-Men 132 from
Holy
January of
crap.
1980. Wait,
Oh boy,
wait,
that's a...
Wait. That means Reagan. God damn it. Feels like shit. Just want her back.
I mean, we were just talking about the man.
The son of a bitch. Written by Chris Claremont, penciled by John Byrne, inked by Terry Austin, colored by Glynis Wein, and lettered by Tom Orzechowski.
Winner of 5 Eagle Awards.
We would like to take the opportunity to run through some of our safety briefings with you as we make our way down the mountain. Please secure all baggage as much as possible. Lighted exits, make sure you know where your emergency exit is. They are currently lighted up. And ensure that you're capable of operating all safety windows if you're placed in front of them.
Oh boy, just looking at that cover though.
Your seat can be used as a flotation device.
I'm in a train!
I mean, trains sometimes crash into water.
I have never been on a train.
Neither have I, to be fair. Not a big train anyway.
I have.
The X-Men have found their way to Angel's Eyrie, which is Warren's name for his fun little mountain home.
Oh boy, haven't seen him in a while.
Warren is displaying the very best things of the time period as far as men's fashion goes. Bring on the short shorts and athletic socks, baby!
They're coming back.
Short. Well, yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's cyclical.
Fuck yeah, keep doing it. It seems that after the chaos in Chicago, Scott has brought the X-Men here. After the flirt, Warren steals a smooch from Jean in front of both Scott
Boy!
and his own girlfriend.
That's...
welcome to the Polycule, everybody!
yeah.
Scott asks for a moment to speak privately with Warren, and so, in full form, Warren decides to scoop him up off the ground, flying several miles off into the desert with them, and setting him down on a butte.
Where they also kiss.
As again, welcome to the Polycule. What part of that did you miss?
The professor is rather annoyed with Scott taking off with Warren, like he did not ask for him to do that.
Uh-huh. Look, they're going off to kiss. What do you think?
He's also not particularly pleased that they're here at all when he ordered Scott to take them home. But that's part of why Scott brought them here. He wasn't sure if home was safe, given how much their enemies know about the place.
That is a problem.
Now that they have a moment of privacy, Scott explains a little bit of what's been going on with the X-Men, finally finishing with Jean's new information on the Hellfire Club, and Warren's like, really? I've been. It's mostly just like a freaky sex club for old rich fucks.
Oh my... Warren!
I just noticed Warren's tank top has like a scoop back for his wings.
Oh my god, where is it? Oh, it's on the bottom.
I was just thinking, well, maybe it's a racerback, but then I looked down, no.
Racerback would be so much smarter than this.
Just an open back.
Well, we all know that Warren isn't, the brightest tool in the shed.
I know what I'll do. I'll just buy a tank top and I'll cut it real low.
He would fit in with our Thor section today.
Absolutely. It's like, I inherited a membership when my parents died, and it wasn't really his speed. And he's about to speak about his concerns for Jean when, speak of the devil, who should appear, zipping up on top of the bluff with his picnic basket.
Oh, I know what you're doing.
Warren hears the Barry White starting to play.
Oh my god.
And he's like, okay, you crazy kids, have fun now.
Good luck getting that fucking through.
It doesn't matter. We're not monetized. What are they gonna do? Take the money we're not making?
Oh, it might get copyright claimed.
Right, and then it would get taken down.
Well, if we do that, I'll re-upload it with a MIDI version.
Okay.
As he goes, Jean changes clothes into a swimsuit and lays down a picnic basket for the pair. Scott is still quite stressed about the whole situation, though he does sit down with his girl, and she asks him to stop being Cyclops for a little bit and start being Scott. She then turns to him, sliding the visor up onto his forehead. Predictably, he panics, but she strokes the side of his face, reassuring him to open his eyes. She's holding his glass in place. Right now, what she really wants to do is just see his face.
He's gotta have crazy tan lines, though.
Oh,
I'm also just thinking, though, like, given how much he treats those as a part of his face...
It's a big deal. This is a huge deal.
I'm not actually sure this is good.
No, this is good. This is a huge deal.
Is it? Okay.
And finally Scott softens into her and they do allow themselves just this one moment. A week later, she fucked that boy on that
Yeah. They had sex there.
For a week.
Fade to fucking black.
A week passes.
A week later, and a storm is raging in New York City.
So this is what happens when you have sex on a mountain.
Every time.
A butterfly's wings flap in Japan, and you have a hurricane in
the Phoenix
San Francisco.
Fucks in New Mexico, and it starts raining in New York.
Exactly.
Despite the downpour, the wealthiest of the wealthy still pour into the Hellfire Club for its grand birthday party. Down below those streets, Kurt and Logan wind their way through the storm sewers until they're below the club.
This page looks really nice.
It does look really nice.
Some real good art, light choices.
Yes. Glynis is absolutely killing it here.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he's got the...
As long as there's no Koreans around.
Oh, boy.
Maybe they hadn't invented more colors yet. While he's got the opportunity, Logan slashes the insulation away from some of the wires leading up to the Hellfire Club. Should the water rise, maybe it'll make the surprise they need to get away. I kind of think I see what he's going. It's like, hey, Storm, can you, flash flood the fucking place so we can get out?
That might actually be one of New York's mini rivers.
No, they say it's a storm sewer.
Ah, I didn't catch that. Sorry.
Maybe it'll make the surprise they need. Team 2 is Scott, Jean, Aurora, and Piotr, all four of them garbed up in finery with invitations to the party under false names. And that leaves Warren and the Professor waiting helplessly in New Mexico.
Why isn't Warren the one going? He actually has a membership.
Might be suspicious because he's known as the Angel. He is like a public figure as the Angel. That's something we haven't really covered.
He's got a whole thing.
Yeah, he's a public figure.
I didn't realize that.
As the Angel. Piotr and Storm enter first, with Rasputin surprised to find some of his own countrymen at such a gathering. But aside from that, nothing seems to be raising any alarm bells. Everything seems to be going just fine. Right up until Scott and Jean follow suit.
Good job, guys.
Mm-hmm.
And Pierce, one of the four members of the inner circle of the Hellfire Club, immediately spots the pair, drawing the attention of the rest of the inner circle, Sebastian Shaw, Jason Wingard, and Harry Leland. Shaw is delighted to see the pair of them, grinning widely at Wingard because he can finally put his money where his mouth has been for all this fucking time.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Jason, have our new Black Queen take care of the rest of the X-Men.
Ooh.
Jean and Scott sway their way around the ballroom, a perfect opportunity to take stock of the entire room, as well as a little bit of couple time. Of course, that's when Jason Wingard cuts in,
Oh, God.
and all of a sudden it's as if Scott Summers no longer existed. Jean caught in the whirlwind of the past with her beloved husband. And Scott feels that icy stone in his stomach once more. Jean told him about the episodes she's been having, and then yet again there's this new Jason Wingard who keeps making Jean go funny. Strange things are afoot at the Circle K.
Oh, hey, I'm catching more horny.
Oh yes, there's horny in spades.
Well, it's the Hellfire
It's
Club.
the
Yeah.
Hellfire Club. Then Wingard escorts Jean up a staircase away from the party, and her boyfriend follows along. He's not about to let whatever's happening continue.
I can't believe Jason is just, like, ignoring Scott. Like, what are you thinking he's gonna do?
Well, maybe it doesn't matter what he's gonna do.
We'll see.
It's no longer Wingard he sees, but Mastermind.
Oh, boy.
Ugh.
There he is.
Oh.
He is.
He quickly follows up the stairs behind them, searching for the pair, when he finally finds Jason Wingard and the Black Queen of the Hellfire Club, who blasts him into unconsciousness. See, I think the Black Queen look is much hotter than the Phoenix look.
It's hornier.
Well, I mean, it's supposed to be, but
Extremely horny.
That is... Yeah, that's horny.
I don't do horny, so I think the Phoenix look is hotter.
Fair enough.
Oh, boy.
Down below on the dance floor, Piotr and Aurora hear a scream. Piotr's not even sure he heard it, but Aurora immediately clocks who it is. And in a flash of her lightning, she transforms their clothes into their costume, rushing off to their friend's aid. After tackling the stairs in just a few giant steps, at the top the pair are blocked by one shirtless Sebastian Shaw,
Why?
demanding their surrender. He doesn't even have, like, a hot bod, right?
No.
Like,
Well, I mean, he's
he's
muscular.
fit. He looks fit, but he doesn't look hot.
He looks old.
He looks like a hairless Wolverine.
He looks like a really ripped old person, you're right.
Yeah.
And he demands their surrender, but that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
and
Piotr's gonna surrender, that's for sure.
No, Piotr just kind of keeps going and hits the man with, for him, a love tap. Fair, I mean, he just atomized Kevin like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, look. Well, sometimes you squish a guy's head and a 13-year-old thinks you're awesome. And you start considering that maybe you hit a little too hard.
But it doesn't do anything then. Maybe help Shaw work out a crick in his neck. According to him, all it's done is made him stronger, and he gives back what he got in spades, sending Colossus flying backwards. He then presses the attack, leaping after Colossus. Piotr manages to kick him backwards, but again, that's only charged him up further.
Oh, dear.
Aurora quickly realizes they're not going to be able to do this alone, and drops a thick bank of fog over the fight, flying off to try and find Kurt and Logan. Speaking of which, the pair...
Oh, wow, I just got forgive me, little brother.
Yeah, she calls him that sometimes. I think it's really sweet.
Oh, my God. Look at this found family ass shit.
Speaking of which, Kurt and Logan have just entered the mansion, seemingly by carving up through the floor.
Yep.
Yeah, you know.
Wolverine digs a hole.
Wolverine digs a hole.
But this man dug up.
Yeah.
See? He's way more creative than Thor ever was about his hole digging. The Wolverine comes out of his hole for the first time in months.
David Attenborough voice.
It's quiet. Too quiet. As Nightcrawler rounds a corner, a hand shoots out, quick as a viper, seizing Kurt by the neck. It's Donald Pierce of the Inner Circle, and he squeezes... Who? Pierce!
Oops.
Remember Pierce, the guy who saw on the monitor?
Yeah.
No.
We saw the 4 guys of the Hellfire Club.
I remember him being in this issue.
Yeah, this is him.
Okay.
Well, we just haven't really met him yet.
Okay.
Well, we've gotten to meet, like, some of these guys.
But not all of them.
Okay.
And not Donnie. It's him, and he squeezes Wagner's neck. The mutant finds it impossible to break his grip or even teleport free. Something's preventing him from even concentrating. Wolverine is fast to his friend's aid, but when he slices at Pierce's arm, he finds only machinery. And it doesn't even cut all the way through.
That's a problem.
Right. And Kurt is still held fast, struggling for breath, even as Pierce backhands Logan across the room.
While yelling, Donald Pierce is a cyborg!
Yeah, well, he was insulted that Logan called him a robot.
But it's normal to yell your name in the third person.
It's totally normal. Well, like, these are all really normal people in the Hellfire Club, I think.
Yeah, they're the normalest.
We got fucking egos going on.
They're just the normalest.
Wolvie's like, cool, cyborg v cyborg fight. May the best enhancement win. He gets back to his feet, down to clown with this fool.
And he probably would murder the man. Let's be real.
When the last member of the Inner Circle, Harry Leland, steps through the door.
This man has a crazy body shape.
Yeah.
He's fat, but has like a foot-wide thigh gap.
How do those hips work?
Look, it doesn't matter. He's got the thigh gap. I like that he's, like, fat, though.
Yeah.
Like, fat.
Well, yeah, but the body shape is so wrong.
It's very strange.
It was a choice.
But yeah, he is a chubby dude.
He is a biggin'. He was wielding a walking stick, and Logan tries to keep on going to get back at Pierce, challenging Leland to stop him, and he takes that challenge, making Logan heavier and heavier and heavier.
Challenge accepted.
Increasing his mass. He struggles against Leland's powers, but eventually it's the floor that gives way, and so Logan is washed away by the raging storm sewers.
Rip.
Storm has tried everything to try and rally some help from her friends, but no one is answering. There's nothing she can do but try to escape, maybe try and get a hold of Angel and the Professor. And as she makes for the door, she can't do even that. Shaw's hand snaps out to seize her ankle, holding it in a near-crushing grip. Aurora tries her best to break free, and manages it for only the briefest moment before Edna Mode is yet again vindicated.
No capes!
The villain grabs her cape, swinging hard to smash her down into the floor. He then closes in on the dazed mutant and decks her, dragging her off
in the back of the head.
Yeah, he cold cocks her.
Oof.
Then he drags her off behind a curtain, later through a door. As he greets the rest of the triumphant Hellfire Club, Shaw discards Aurora on the floor with the rest of her friends. Politics are happening now. Jason undercuts Pierce for his injury by Wolverine, but in Shaw's eyes, he's really just jockeying for position, establishing that he's the real alpha dog here and not Shaw, and that he holds power through his control over Jean Grey.
I mean, when you think about it, that guy didn't even bring... that guy at least brought a mutant.
They're all mutants.
Yeah, no, I mean,
not all of them are mutants.
One of them just got rid of Wolverine.
True.
So, when we want to talk about pecking order, there are things to be considered.
Shaw brought 2 mutants.
Yeah.
Bringing the assembly back to order, he blunts a threat by Wingard to release that hold, by instead proposing a toast to the new Black Queen of the Hellfire Club.
Oh boy. Logan is about to try to murder some people.
They're counting their chickens before they hatch, as down in the storm sewers of New York City, there's still one X-Man left fighting.
Brother.
How would you rate that?
4. I'm uncomfortable.
Fair.
Why?
Very horny.
Ah. I mean, I expected it to be horny after...
It's horny time.
It's more than just horny, it's...
skeevy.
Gross.
It's meant to be.
Yeah.
I know.
And
but I can understand being uncomfortable with it.
You're not supposed to be comfortable.
No,
Yeah.
exactly.
If this is a good end, then
I love this skeeviness. 5 stars. That's how I do.
Yeah.
Although I also know you have limits on that.
Yes.
Rate it, John.
4.
What do you think Samuro thought?
4.56.
4.56.
Damn!
On to our last story for the evening, the B story from Classic X-Men 38, written by either your Angle or your Devil and Nesenti.
Oh no! She has historically been my devil.
This cover is...
Terrible?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scott's face.
Awful. That's bad, but again, Steve Lytle fucking killing it!
Oh boy! Uh-huh.
Killing it. Anyway. Penciled and inked by ... Kyle Baker.
Who?
New guy. Colored by Glynis Wein and lettered by Bill Oakley. Kyle Baker's a new name for us. He's a black man, another artist of color here on Comicsplaining, and he's also another big name. Known for being one of the most versatile artists in the business. Blah, 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 blah. Where did my fucking thing go? There it is. One of the most versatile guys in the business with a wide range of tones.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think he's particularly more notable for his work on Plastic Man. A lot of his comedy work, really. I'm just going to continue skimming through all this.
Wow. He has range.
He's got the range.
Really the range.
Good lord.
I haven't...
Good lord.
I can't remember the last time I saw an artist who had that much range.
Oh my god.
This guy
Wait,
fucking wild,
Is
right?
that Deadpool killing KKK members?
Yes, it is.
Good for him.
Nazi-rella or whatever the fuck is happening.
Deadpool is decapitating at least one KKK member, and good for him.
Good for him. So yeah, he's got the range.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
I've got good vibes from Kyle Baker.
Yeah, let's hope Ann Nesenti doesn't waste them.
A young woman enters an elevator, instructing the attendant to take her up to the top floor. For the longest time, he doesn't move at all, before finally leaning in close to the woman's personal space to operate the lever. I don't know where the fuck she's in this parking garage that has a fucking elevator attendant in it still.
It used to be a thing.
It's a parking garage.
But it's a parking garage.
Yeah,
with an
true.
elevator attendant with a sign that says no smoking, and the man is smoking, so...
Yeah.
But the woman, Allison, because this is Dazzler for some fucking reason, still feels the man's gaze on her. Still feels the rising fear. Finally, the car clunks to a stop, but then the lights go out, leaving the pair cast in darkness. Apparently this is a pretty regular problem with this elevator, as the operator's pretty nonplussed about it. When the lights finally flash on, Allison is glad to get out of the lift with the man, but he offers to give her a walk to her car. Awful scary here in the dark, strangers about.
Ugh.
Suddenly a car comes racing through the structure at the pair. The operator tackles Allie away, but while in the act handcuffs her to a nearby pole. Yeah, things are going pretty normal. She then demands answers. The man claims it's just a little joke because he gets bored at work.
What?
He either looks for the keys or looks for the keys before heading off to go find them, leaving Allie handcuffed and alone. But she's the Disco Dazzler, and she will not brook this kind of treatment.
She is actually the Dazzler.
She is actually the Dazzler, yes.
So, does that power give her the ability to break these cuffs?
It's an explosion of a sort.
I'll accept it. She can do, lasers and shit, so sure, I'll accept it.
Okay. I guess I never considered what her ability set was, because she's the Dazzler.
She breaks the chain between the handcuffs, and now freed, nails the electrical box, casting the entire structure back into darkness.
Ooh.
Dazzler then rushes off to, assumedly her car, it's not really made clear, and she turns on the music to charge up her mutation. And now she's ready. Suddenly, lights flash, brilliant and overwhelming, all around the elevator operator, who pleads for mercy.
Kill him.
But Allie torments him for a little bit more before finally demanding answers. So it turns out Hitchcock here, when he's not being a fucking elevator operator, is a filmmaker. And he wanted to study fear, so method directing.
Ugh.
Gross.
Yeah, fucking Finn. How'd you like that?
2.
I hate the story. I don't know why it's in a superhero comic.
I don't understand why this is relevant to anything.
No.
I
think in a world this story could be okay.
Yeah.
A world where this wasn't Dazzler, it wasn't shoved into classic X-Men, and we had a little more time to work on.
If this was in, like, The Watchmen,
yeah,
I would get it.
But also, the fact that this is Dazzler, of all people.
Why is this fucking Dazzler? Why is she dressed like that? Why is this in classic X-Men? Why does this story matter? Where in the timeline does this fit?
Art's impressive.
The art's really good. That's the only thing that stops me from rating it a 1.
Like, the art is really impressive.
Is fucking awesome.
It turns out, that man was wasted on Anisenti.
One of the things that guy was talking about in that big long article I scrolled through is how dynamic his artwork is.
Oh,
where
yeah.
It looks like everyone's moving, and it really, really is.
it's awesome.
Like, even when he's just, screaming...
There's still movement. You can see the tension in her fist.
And you can see the fear in his eyebrows.
Everyone is moving. These aren't people who are caught in stationary. This is Dazzler caught in a moment. This is this guy in a moment of motion.
Look at the dress intersecting with the man.
Very nicely done.
It's the art on this. Bad side B story.
A 2 specifically for the art, nothing else.
The art is the only thing worth talking about here.
Without the art, it would be like a -5.
Yeah. I'd have to give it a 1 because of the rules.
I know.
Well, we don't follow the rules.
The rules that you arbitrarily placed on yourself.
Yes, correct. What do you think Samuro thought about that?
0.5.
2.
0.5 isn't an option because you have to rate it at least a 1.
Well,
they're pretty close to us though, 1.9.
Yeah.
Yay.
I think I was one of those ones, but I may change my vote to a 2 over there.
I am so sad that when I hoped our artist wouldn't be wasted on Anisenti,
that's what
You're
happened.
wrong.
I hoped.
Yeah.
I didn't
like
say.
A fool.
Hey, sometimes she can tell a good story.
Sometimes she can pull it out.
But usually she's not even on topic, and I don't. What is Anisenti's deal? Like, she's got
things to say. She's clearly got things to say.
She definitely has things to say, and they're not necessarily bad things, but she's saying it in the wrong place.
You know what I think is, I think that she shouldn't be writing superheroes.
Yeah.
Is it possible that's all she's got?
I mean, she's working at Marvel.
Yeah. But she has a bunch of things she wants to say.
She's got other stuff she's doing on the side. Like, we went over, she's got quite the fucking list of shit she's doing.
So why is it that this is what she's doing in Marvel? I mean, we're only seeing one.
She's also early in her career, again.
And we're only seeing one small window into her career.
We're seeing her working on this one book.
And it's weird work.
And it's a book full of vignettes, effectively.
But her work is, like, the weirdest.
I'm not an Anisenti fan, I just don't want to, like, dogpile
A fan-Nascenti?
I'm not a fan-Nascenti, no.
I just don't understand why she tells these stories in this.
I guess if you're gonna do it, here's not a bad place to do it, but, like, it's weird. This one is weird. This one is weird.
It's clear she has some talent at writing. It's not like this is necessarily bad writing. The stuff
she does is very evocative.
It is. Really. It wouldn't be evocative. If it was just bad writing, it wouldn't be.
But it's fucking whack.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it feels out of place. It doesn't necessarily feel bad. It feels wrong for what it is.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to figure out.
No idea, man.
I know.
She just doesn't understand, like, the tone.
Yeah. She's writing the wrong genre.
Yeah.
Well, I think that is it for us tonight. I'm a million billion sweaty degrees, so...
I'm actually okay on that front.
I'm good.
Well, I'm glad you're both doing great.
But I am tired.
That's going to be it for us this week. We're going to be back at you next time, and I think the train may have crashed.
Oh, no.
Bad news, guys. Train's not... Well, I don't know if it's crashed yet, but the train is not looking good, guys. Train's in terrible shape.
Uh-oh, that's not good. What happened? So what
did you not see the fact that all of the X-Men have been beaten and Jean Grey just has decided to become the Black Queen of the Hellfire Club? Things aren't going great.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm not sure it's crashed yet. Wolverine's still out there.
That's fair. That's what I'm saying. Maybe it's not crashed yet, but we're picking up speed.
It's just like tilting and like sliding on one rail.
Right, we're going around the corners. We're going around the corners and we're really starting to hit them at too much speed.
Sparks
you
are
can kind
flying.
of feel in the turns.
The tilt.
It's like, oh shit, one of these turns is gonna derail us.
Yeah.
But what does derailed look like? I don't know.
Wait and see. That's what we're gonna be finding out in a couple of weeks from now, so check back with us then. Bye!
Bye.